Where's the? You gotta get the music. Walt.
Yeah.
Where's the music?
Oh, no, man.
Come on, Walt.
Every week we got to go through this, Pete. I don't know what that is tonight. Do you?
I know that's actually for the opener.
Oh,
look like an octopus. Look like you're doing some octopus.
I messed that one up. Guys, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good.
Me too,
I'm
man.
very excited.
I am too. I'm very excited tonight.
We have a preseason game coming up in a couple of days.
Mhm.
We got some awesome guests lined up for tonight. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say. And it's always great to see you guys. There's something I want to talk about kind of as we start the show, which is that the Bears changed their logo, their primary logo from the C to the bear. So that'll be something interesting to talk about. Maybe our first guest, Glynn Morgan from NBC Sports, knows a little bit more about that. Glynn? I'm sorry, Glynn. See, this is our first show with Walt as being our producer, so I need to actually acknowledge that. Our new producer moving forward is Walter Besky. We are excited to have you as part of our team, Walt. So sorry for screwing that one up. I'm a little nervous tonight. This is weird. How are you guys doing?
Oh, shucks.
You guys nervous?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I'll feed off your energy then. How about
What's
Walter?
up with it?
Let's kick this shit off.
Bears country. Where is it?
You down with BCP?
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 This is a pre-approved opening dance by PJ Buster.
He's taking liberties again, Pete. Taking
No.
liberties.
He looking like an octopus doing that, man. Stop. Just stop, bro. Got those tentacles going.
I keep telling him, man, we don't have enough time left in our lives for this to be worked out.
4 days ago, he approved that one. That's not fair. I was like, I need my new dance for the opener because you approved it.
You had good rhythm last week. I don't know what happened this week. You started getting the fingers involved, like you got some tentacles going. Look at it.
All three of us just opened like that, and then we just did like a. No, it would be epic.
It looks like a 3D thing from Second City TV back in the 70s. You ever see any of those, Pete?
Right.
John Candy and Eugene Levy?
After Monday's show, when we did the midnight special, I thought that was the new dance. I was so excited. It was pre-approved. It was approved on the show live by PJ. So I thought that would be that's the new opener.
Fortunately, you don't get another crack at it till next week.
But here's the thing. What did we talk about last night, though? Walter, remember what I told you last night. What's your lane? Being at the bar. That's your lane. Not on the dance floor. Sitting at the bar. Yeah. That's your lane.
I did not meet my wife on the dance floor. That's correct.
See?
Got to go with what you know.
Exactly.
And it ain't dancing.
Guys, I'm excited tonight because we have our new producer. Walter is producing the show. Walter Besky. You know, there's only so much that your wife can do to produce your show. There's only so long she can go before she just gets sick and tired of hearing you and your buddies talk about Bears. So we have Walt has joined the team. We're very excited to have you. Thanks for joining us, Walt. You're welcome to. Just jump in any time. In fact, why don't you come in right now? Say hi to everybody, man. What's up, guys?
Walter.
What's up, Walt?
Like you said, he ditched the couch. He's got the chair now. He's good to go.
Man, I'm telling you. Got the Bears shirt on. He ready.
Good to go.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you being part of the team, Walt. This is going to be awesome moving forward.
Yeah.
A little
Only
bit
up
less.
from here.
Yes.
Cheers.
A little bit less off of our shoulders makes it a lot easier for the show. So we appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely,
Yes,
man.
we do.
Oh,
Guys,
thank you,
I'm very excited to bring on our first guest, Glynn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. He's a draft analyst, and I appreciate his work. He's always got amazing things to say. When he speaks, you just are entranced in what he's saying. So I'm excited to bring him on. Well, let's bring on our first guest, Glynn Morgan.
So, guys,
Glynn.
Glenn, welcome here, man.
Welcome, Glenn. Welcome.
thank you. I'm sorry, too much head right there. I did the 3D thing like you were talking about. Going forward.
What do you think of my dance? Come on now. What do you think?
How about those Bears? Wow. Can't wait. So, season kicks off. It's
And those Bears are pretty good, aren't they?
Just so you guys know, we're doing a new show now.
Yeah.
It's the Glenn PJ Foster Hour.
Right.
That's good stuff. I got pulled within what, the first 7 minutes of the show. It's great.
Surprised you made it that far.
Seriously, Glenn, it is an honor to have you on the show. Thank you very much. I know you have a busy schedule with your job, NBC, and it was actually worked out perfectly that you could join us tonight. So thanks for joining us.
no, thanks, guys. Hey, I guess it was meant to be, right? So, again, I appreciate you guys extending yourselves out to allow me to be part of this group today. So, let's have some fun.
My first question to you tonight is, do you like fish and spaghetti?
What kind of fish?
Fried catfish.
As long as it's not fried hard, I'm all good.
So you would actually eat it with fish. You would have the meal together of
Oh.
fish and spaghetti?
Well, yeah, I'm from the south side of Chicago, man. Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about doing fish and spaghetti.
My wife's family's from Louisiana, so yeah, most definitely.
We were doing a marathon during the draft, and it was the 6th round. The Bears weren't picking, so it was just a lull. And PJ goes, "What are you guys having for dinner tonight?" And we're like, "I don't know." He's like, "I was thinking about having fish and spaghetti."
Yeah.
He said it just like this. Go ahead and play it, Walt.
I'm actually thinking about doing fish and spaghetti.
That makes
And-
sense to me. You got the hot sauce, Louisiana
was
hot sauce, and
confusing to me.
Tabasco.
Louisiana hot sauce.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank
wait,
you.
follow-up question. So PJ, you're onto something here.
I tried to tell you.
I'm gonna try it. We're getting more and more people on your side. We need to keep a check mark.
It still
got,
doesn't count
20
that I
check
do
marks
fish
now.
and mascacholi instead most of the time, or no?
I
know what the difference is.
So the spaghetti keep it simple, spaghetti.
How about the
And-
follow-up? The quick follow-up question, Glenn. How about fish jello?
I'm gonna stop talking to you if you're gonna keep cursing at me like that. that was cruel and unintended. Unintended.
That one, Foster.
That was cruel and unusual.
Yeah, that's an odd one. That's
Yeah, that's
okay.
let's
So
not
those
go
are
there.
two odd ones marked off the list for me. One's becoming less and less odd. One day, I'm going to try catfish and spaghetti just
Oh,
for
you
you,
have
PJ.
to. Oh, you got to. You know what? If you get it, really the best time to get it is during Lent. I'm not certain anyone's religious, theological background, so to speak, but
Right.
as the Catholics go, February, March, right after, I think it's Fat Tuesday, I think, or whatever, when Lent begins, somewhere around that time. And
Right.
every Friday, man, fish and spaghetti, man. Let a little piece of white Wonder Bread on the side if you really want to throw back to the 70s.
Okay.
And have hot sauce there, and have your nice an iced tea if you want to, or an adult beverage if you so choose. And that's how you do it, man. If you're a kid, you get you a nice little Sprite, 7-Up, something like that, a Cola, whatever.
See,
You're winning, PJ. PJ sent me a picture of the meal he made that night. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
I'll be
How
honest.
was that?
Separately.
If you really want to clown, you get it and you put it in a styrofoam container. That way you can take it to go.
See, now we're talking. See, I don't want to hit him with that one yet, but see, man, that's it. Then you put some Hawaiian rolls in there too. Man, Hawaiian rolls, that's it. See, You know what? I tell you guys.
He took himself out.
Is he going to
I'm
eat?
done for tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just done.
He's like, I win. I win. I'm out. You guys have a good show.
Quit while you're ahead again, huh, Pete?
Oh, that's awesome. You're gaining more and more traction every day with that, PJ. I'll give you that.
Most people of African descent in the Midwest, that's a meal for us. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Well, when he said, I currently live in Atlanta right now. I'm from Chicagoland, okay. Northwest suburbs, but I live in Atlanta now. And so the joke on the show during the draft was, that everyone eats that. And so they're like, you're in the South.
Yeah, you're in the South, dude.
So I pulled up a menu from a Southern place down the road that's been there forever.
Yes.
And I'm like, there's no spaghetti on this list, guys. That's how we determined it was a like a Midwest, South Side, Illinois thing.
I'm trying to tell you.
Awesome.
Every black person that you ask from the Midwest, they all agreed.
They have. I'll give you that.
Thus far.
You're getting a slow clap on that one.
Now
I'm finding, and this is your fault, PJ, because I have friends from the South suburbs and stuff, and I've asked them only because of this conversation's been going on so long, and they're Hispanic, they're white, they're African American, they all eat it. South and Southwest suburbs. It's just people through my church group, but it is what it is, man.
Church. Right. Church or bowling. I thought you guys were a bowling team at first. You're just looking for like person to club on the weekends and stuff. So, but yeah.
Bowling Club of Peoria.
That's what I'm saying.
Excellent.
Let's take a quick second to acknowledge our chat here tonight, guys, real quick. We appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Doug Van Dorn, Leo Factor, Chips Ahoy Boy, Cliff Victoria, Josh Wangler, Walter. Well, Walter's our producer. He's in there too. Brian Gilmore, Mark Kazak. Yes, we appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight.
Truly appreciate it.
STC, Leo Factor.
Yes.
Yes, and STC.
Brian Gilmore.
I did say that.
Okay. Moment to issue an apology to Doug Van Dorn. You were right, Doug, when it came to Yannick. He has played in the Bears system before. I was wrong. I thought he didn't. So after hearing his interview, he said he played in this system in Oakland or Las Vegas before. So you were right, Doug. I was wrong. My apologies.
While you're giving apologies, I have a bone to pick with Doug Van Dorn.
Uh-oh.
It feels like he doesn't want anybody to know that he actually follows BCP, because every time I say hi to him in chat, he never, if we're in another Bears chat, I always say hi to him. He never even acknowledges I'm there. Like,
I try to do the same thing.
Every chat. So that's my bone with you, Doug. You got to say hi to me in the next chat we see each other in. So, guys, I know that, PJ, you want to interrogate Glynn Morgan right now, so I'll let you start asking the questions, because that's your job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Glynn, what got you interested in doing broadcasting? Give you a softball at first.
Really? That's like the hardest question. I don't even know how I can answer that one. I'm still trying to figure that. Still don't have the answer to that one. Yeah, good question. Well, ironically, or I don't know if it's ironically or funnily, and I'm making up a word there. When I was a lot younger, I thought I wanted to be an architect. Really enjoyed drawing and what have you. And then I got to high school, and then I realized I didn't understand a goddamn thing about geometry. So it's like, yeah, this architect thing is not going to work. For whatever reason, I took 4 years of math in high school. I said it would look good on your resume. I don't know why I was in calculus, because I pretty much cheated my way through Al trig. So at some point when I was going to graduate, I realized, probably should do something that has not a lot to do with math. I had done some theater in high school. My oldest sister's a lawyer. And I kind of thought I'd go into psychology, and I ran that past my folks, and they were kind of helping me with the finances to some degree, and they said, "Hell no, we're not paying for that." So I was like, "Well, what can I lie to them about and convince them?" And so I said, hey, just like my big sister Karen, yeah, I'll go into law and I'll go to communications because you got to be able to communicate and speak and all those kind of things. And then I thought a little bit of, and ESPN was kind of burgeoning around that time. So I said, yeah, go into maybe sports broadcasting, maybe, or something like. Although I didn't do any journalism in high school, didn't write for a newspaper, nothing like that. So it kind of talked myself into communications to answer your question to some degree. And then went to University of Tennessee and was there for several years. Didn't finish there. Came back home and said, you know what, art's calling to me. I should have done my first love a long time ago. And I made a portfolio and went to the Art Institute, Chicago Art Institute, and got accepted. Yeah, got accepted. And after about 2 weeks, I realized I enjoy drawing. I don't love drawing like for vacation. It's a whole different level of commitment. I said, you know what? I should probably just go back to what I started, broadcast communications. And so I said, yeah, I just got to get a degree, And so I went back to school. And ironically, when I got back to school, one of my instructors, he was kind of like an adjunct teacher at the time. He actually was at Tennessee the same time I was. So I'm like, okay, I've squandered years of my life here. But it was kind of cool. And I said, you know what? Not that I'm always looking for signs, but I thought of it kind of a kismet kind of moment, kind of a karmic thing. And I said, let me see where this goes. And so I kind of applied some of the stuff from theater to my love for sports, to things in broadcasting were just interesting, especially television broadcasting. But the idea maybe, possibly movies, your mind has all these fancies. And then I was going to be behind, be a director of that sort. And then it turned into an internship. And at the internship, I was working at a local cable company. And there's a difference between public access and local origination. Public access, the public, the people who live in that community, they have access to the equipment. They can kind of do their own thing. Local origination, people actually pay to make shows for the community that they service. So this was a local origination situation, and I interned there, and then I got a part-time job there. And one day someone didn't show up. That's how the story goes. It's like, hey, we need someone to interview at this local whatever. Do you mind being in front of the camera? I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Like, who's really going to be watching this? And I'll never forget it. One of my first interviews was with a monkey. It's one of those like spider monkeys that sit on your shoulder or whatever. And it was like some kind of fest for, I think, Matteson. I think this is the south suburb of Madison and Illinois. And, it was just, I'm talking back and forth, I was having fun with it. And then it turned out I became the host for it regularly. Then that turned into doing some sports broadcasting for like high school game of the week type stuff, as color commentary and kind of off and running in that. Running in circles really at that point, but still running.
Right.
And then an opportunity opened up at Fox Sports Chicago. And again, this is still behind the camera though. Everything's behind the camera. And started working there. And that's kind of a really long answer to your question. But it's kind of a
That's what PJ wants.
kind of a circuitous route to that. And as far as doing things in front of the camera, I've always been inclined to do those things, to want to do those things. As much as sometimes I like to keep to myself, I enjoy talking. If to know me, people who know me when it comes to sports, particularly football, we talk for the next 5 hours, and I'll just be getting going. I'll just be starting up. So I have four siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I'm the youngest of 5. And my 2 older brothers played college and high school football, and just grown. And everyone's a lot older than me. I'm a Blizzard baby, so.
Oh my!
Yeah. So mom and dad, they already had 2 of each. I'm pretty sure they were set, and I don't think they really wanted another mouth to feed. So I'm a product of a good Blizzard, and so just on Saturdays and Sundays are always big for me, watching sports with my brothers, particularly football. and even more so even college football than pros. My brothers would always be able to tell someone's size just by looking at the TV, like, oh yeah, he's about 6'2", 235. Oh man, he ran a 4.6. So that kind of verbiage and the lexicon kind of just kind of became second nature in a lot of ways. And so just enjoyed doing that. And then, like I said, my older sister's a lawyer, but my father was a great debater in the family, i.e. he doesn't lose a debate, so you always had to have like 10 ways to prove that he was wrong or that you were right, depending on your point of view. The schools I went to are really good at teaching you how to critically think and how to put words in the context and how to support your answers with more than one. So all these things kind of were part of, just growing up. And so when it comes to sports and talking, it's not so much that I have to feel that I'm right about something. It's more so, hey, this is how I see it. Let me show you these different ways that I'm seeing something, and then, share it with you. And then what do you think? So it's not so much about being right and wrong. That, of course, you're going to get into situations where people are going to debate you and stuff. So that being said, but that's like my primary thrust is not so much about being right as much as I'm just excited to share these points of view with you.
Now, what was
Hold on a second. You don't get a follow-up question to that.
I don't.
I get a follow-up question. Okay. I went to American Academy of Art right across the street from you in the mid 90s.
Nice.
Are we in that same era?
I was there for 2 weeks for like it was like 90, maybe 90. Yeah, it's about 94, 95.
Yeah, it was 95. Yeah.
I had a guy I worked with.
We could have been like passing each other on the street then while we were like getting lunch or something. It's crazy.
No doubt. For the 2 weeks I was there, I'm sure we bumped into each other like 10 times.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. It might have happened. What a small world.
Yeah, it really is.
Go ahead with your follow-up, PJ. Or your follow-up question, PJ.
Real quick,
He likes to take 27-part questions. So
I love your passion.
Thank you.
I just
let's do this, PJ. Speed it up.
Okay, this is gonna be quick.
Sure.
What was your one moment that you knew, like, hey, this is my profession, this is it, this is what I'm meant to do? What was your one moment to solidify that for you?
Still waiting for it, PJ.
Really?
Yeah, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
It's I'll answer this more quickly than the last question. I've been with NBC Sports Chicago in various iterations. Prior to that, it's Comcast Sportsnet, so pretty much the same thing. But my employee there was as a cameraman, a studio technician. So there wasn't anything in front of the camera. That really didn't avail itself until really maybe the last year and a half, maybe shorter than that, maybe the last 9 months to a year. A lot of times, it's funny, our anchors, they might be caught in the middle of something and they need a quick answer about something. And it got to a point they would just look at me and be like, do you know? Or not just, but Glenn, who's the running back for such and such? I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. He went to Virginia Tech back, blah, blah, blah. And he, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, okay, great. And it got to the point that sometimes, I was beating the people typing it into the computer. Not that I was trying to race them, but, we're on live TV and they need an answer pretty quick. And they want to be able to trust. And again, like I told you guys before we began this, if I didn't know something, I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to try and pretend. I'm not trying to fool anybody, let alone anyone else. So yeah, man. So recently, PJ, it got to a situation where someone took a chance on me. I think due in part to a lot of the conversations that he and I had, personally, individually. He was new to the company. So I think sometimes what happens, people, they're so used to seeing you in one light, they don't see anything as other than. And him being so much more new, he was just like, yeah, dude, like, yeah, sure. Like I need some content and, break glass in case of emergency. So he gave me a shot, to fill some time. And I guess it did well enough so that I still have a job. They haven't fired me yet.
There you go, man. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm serious.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's a great story. It's just kind of the classic American story. Yes. About how things just happen.
A child squandering all the benefits that his parents gave him. Yes, it's classic American.
Classic American story. Yes. No child knows what their parents is doing for them while they're doing it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though.
I love that. I love PJ. I love this because like we get a backstory that most people don't know, that we don't even know.
Right.
Almost every guest that we have on, we let PJ do this, and every week there's a great story, and yours is another great story, man. It really is.
You're being generous, but thank you, Foster.
No,
Thanks
it's
a lot.
a backstory. It gives the viewer. Okay, I'll go on me. It gives me a little bit of a glimpse into what you went through to be where you are today. And people don't see that. We never get to see that or hear about it. So it's hard to understand somebody. It's much easier to understand where a person's coming from if you've got a little taste of what they had to go through to be where they're at. At least for me, it is.
No,
So I appreciate you giving the honest answers.
Oh yeah.
Next thing, he'll be looking in your medicine cabinet. That's DJ, man.
Boundaries, man. Boundaries.
Right.
Yeah, he hasn't set. We're trying. We're working on it.
Hey, they just keep me in the
It's like
living
dance
room. That's
dancing.
all. Just keep me in the living room.
Well, I have a question for you as we get into Bears, because we do have we have Nic Roti, who is waiting in the background. We'd like to bring him on kind of with you, because I'm sure he has some questions for you as well. And then we also have like you in chat, if you have any questions you would like to star for later for Glynn to ask or answer, I should say, please do that as well. My first question to you, Glynn, involving the Bears is, I saw you on podcast a couple weeks ago talking about running back salaries and what it would take for like basically the running back position is their salary has diminished. They're never going to make any more than they're pretty much making now. They're not. They used to be the darling of the NFL years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of ended with Kajana Carter, and then later on with LaDainian Tomlinson. But I have a solution to you that I would like to present to you, I should say, for a way that we can bring back the running back position so that they can be highly paid. Okay. So right now, as you know, back in the 70s, 80s, it was a running game, and the running backs dominated. And then, even though it was really in the 80s when the quarterback started to take over the game and dominate, Marino, Montana, you started to get into the 90s with Young and Aikman and so on and so forth. And people start giving crap to Emmitt Smith having a great offensive line, and then the running back position diminishes. So now we're in this age where the passing game is the top thing. So we're pretty much playing mostly nickel defenses because there's so many wide receivers on the field and blah, blah, blah. So my question to you is, if we brought back the T formation and started running the ball with 3 running backs, 2 running backs and a fullback, and a running quarterback, if we just stocked up that running back room with just studs and just ran the ball down their throat with 4 personnel, how do you think it's possible? Come on.
No, but to your point, if we can go back a little bit, not too far, to when Atlanta under Matt Ryan as the quarterback made it to the Super Bowl. They were doing a lot of 12, 13 personnel. They had a lot of double tight end sets, triple tight end sets, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and they were killing people. I mean, their offense was on fire, right? Yeah. And a big part of that was the fact that you didn't know if they were running or passing. They could do everything out of that formation. So you had to have tight ends that obviously could block and catch with equal aplomb. But, the running backs were versatile and they could run and catch the ball. And Matt Ryan was a very accurate quarterback. He kind of had such an ignominious end, to his career with the Colts. But to me, he was borderline Hall of Famer. And he at least has 1 MVP, so he has that argument. But the Atlanta Falcons was doing something similar to what you're saying, to where the focus wasn't so much on, airing it out like we see some teams do, where you spread everyone out. They had a lot of tight formations, and they were still generating a lot of offense. So not to the degree that you're saying.
But the quarterback won the MVP that year.
He did because you could pass, you could pass out of the formation too, So, but the great thing, and this is, football hasn't changed so much. It's evolved. It's multi-layered, and there's complexities to it, no doubt. But it's still football at the end of the day, and play action is play action. And if you think I'm running and you create that organic space because you come up thinking it's a run, and I got a quarterback that's accurate, there's that space in the middle of the field, I'm going to kill you. And it's exactly what Matt Ryan and that Atlanta Falcons team did. And they should have won that damn Super Bowl. And they really should have. I mean, it's just
ridiculous.
Coaching got in the way, just bad decision making. But that was one of the more dynamic teams that I can recall seeing that didn't spread it out, but could attack you running and passing with equanimity. So yeah, man. To your point, not so much, but I'll say this, and it's just my opinion, obviously, as I'm saying it's just my opinion, but I believe we're going to see a lot of 12 personnel with this Bears team, and getting Mercedes Lewis recently even signals that and hammers that home to me even more so, because we led the league in rushing last year. We were the worst team in the league last year, record-wise. Thank you, Lovie Smith. Well, we were the worst team in here, last year, but we led the league in rushing, and it's not like everyone was confused about whether or not we're going to run. We weren't passing. So every game they knew that's all we could do was run. And they still couldn't stop us. Now, granted, Justin got like a third of those 3,000 yards by himself, but still, they knew he was going to run. They weren't able to stop it. So just think about how much more dynamic this offense can be this year going forward. And this is once the continuity, and team, the teammates can gel and they get some consistency amongst themselves and some chemistry, so to speak. But just how much more effective they're going to be with that running attack that we've had, with better blocking that we didn't have last year, and with receivers who can actually get open, stay open, and be efficient and effective downfield. It can be, your mind really starts to get excited about it. Granted, it's still early and what have you, but this is what we're talking about. It's still football, and Eberflus is a defensive coordinator, has a defensive mindset. They tend to be a bit conservative, generally speaking, but they also play a brand of football that here in Chicago we understand more so. It's like we don't have to be super fancy. We need to be efficient, effective. Defense needs to kick your ass. Special teams need to get the ball in the right place so that we don't have to go 80 yards every time. And then you play catch up and let our defense just wail on you. That's pretty much how we've had success here. I don't see that changing too much. Lovie Smith did the same thing. I see Eberflus doing something very similar, but it is 2024 or 2023, going into 2024 forward. You're going to have to be able to pass the ball.
Yes,
you're going to have to be able to pass the ball.
So, out of all the rookies, which one rookie do you think?
So wait, real quick. That's a no. For the T formation is not coming back, right?
Yeah, I was really trying to, gently say
trying
no.
to butter me up to be nice. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, the first word he said was no. That was the first word he said. He's like, no.
That was my diplomatic answer to your question. Yes. Diplomacy.
So out of the rookies, which one do you think has the best upside that no one's talking about that we have yet to see out of all our rookie class?
Who aren't we talking about with the rookies? I mean, we're so starved for content and so excited with the Bears. I think we've pretty much touched on every rookie, but if there's one that can probably surprise, and what I mean by that is that means a lot of playing time, a lot more playing time than we would have expected, and also having a positive effect on the field to where we're seeing him in various situations, not just on third down or not just on first down. We're seeing him being used multidimensionally. I think that's Terrell Smith, the cornerback out of Minnesota. He's actually right now. I mean, he's kind of challenging. I think if you go back 2.5 weeks ago, everyone's like, okay, it's going to be Johnson on one side and Stevenson on the other. Maybe not. Or Stevenson may start, but doesn't mean he'll have more playing time, or maybe Smith will start, or these guys are battling out, which is great for us, which is great for the team, because it's just going to build a stronger defense and depth, So yeah, but I think Smith is that guy that no one's really talking about, that'll actually do something. Now there's a couple of rookies no one's talking about, but they may or may not do anything. They may find themselves on the practice squad. But I think Smith will be that guy. And I don't recall which podcast I was on or a Football Night in Chicago segment, but someone asked me, I said both those guys are going to play a lot. That was before the mini camps. I'm like, I pretty much not too far after the draft. I'm like, both these guys, they're going to play. They're going to play like, and our secondary was pretty. It's probably one of the more sound units, and they're still going to come in and play because those guys, I think they're that good, and they're big and they're long and they're
Athletic.
fast, athletic. They both are very good against the run. Do a great job supporting the run. They both have very good instincts. They both have something to prove. They're not first-round draft picks. I'm not saying the first-round draft picks don't have anything to prove, but my point being, by not being first-round draft picks, they have that extra added motivation. And maybe Smith even more so. Like he probably looks at Stevenson and is like, who says he's better than me? The same height, basically same size, basically. I played in Minnesota, he played in Miami, but I held my own. Blah blah blah. So ego in a good way. The kind that gets you motivated to succeed. So yeah, I think Smith will be that guy to answer your question.
Okay.
I agree with you on that. I like that answer because during the draft, watching him get drafted was like, this kid has everything that you're looking for in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's definitely a dark horse to watch for.
And he played. It wasn't like he played 13 games or 18 games. He had some good games. Amount of games behind him. The consistency. When I look at collegiate players during the draft and everything, because I do a weekly mock draft, which is a lot more difficult than it probably one would probably think. Sometimes it's like, what did I get myself into?
Oh gosh, I guess it's got to be awful. No, it seems awful.
It can be taxing because there's so much you have to consider, not just with NFL, but obviously with the collegiate players, and you're trying to find guys and reasons why, support your reasons why. It's not just the Bears I'm looking at; it's all 32 teams. So I missed on him like throughout most of the season. He wasn't really on my radar. I didn't really see him until maybe like 2-3 weeks before the draft happened. But it was a very deep defensive back draft, particularly at the cornerback position this past year, really deep. I didn't see Stevenson until maybe towards the end of the season. I'm like, man, right, Pop, how did this guy but there were so many good defensive backs. I mean, think about Devin Weatherspoon from Illinois. He was someone we weren't talking about until maybe mid-October because Illinois is having a good season. So we actually got to see him. Why are they having a good season? Oh, this guy, he's got, he at one point he was leading the Big Ten, leading the country at one point in pass breakups. I think he ended up maybe top 3 or 4 in the Big Ten with I think 12 to 14 pass breakups. Devin Weatherspoon we're talking about here. And, here's a guy that more or less came out of nowhere and found himself to be a top 10 draft pick. And there were guys that we were talking about that were already out there. Some guys fell back. So it was a deep class for defensive backs, particularly at the cornerback position. I think that's why Smith and Stevenson were available where they were. Even though we moved up to get Stevenson, you look at it physically. You look at him, he's late first round talent at worst.
Yeah, right.
Right. So
He looks like a plug and play player.
Yeah, they both do. Really, to be quite honest.
Yeah, they both do. Yeah.
who was out of your analysis, who was a player that you was hoping the Bears would draft at a certain position, but they totally just didn't get him at all?
We all wanted edge rushers.
Right.
And keep in mind, when we say edge here in Chicago, we really mean a defensive end,
Right.
one who can kind of play the run, not so much the 3-4 edge rusher that stand up and runs after you. Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas. I'm showing my age here. So I liked Miles Murphy a lot out of Clemson. I liked his game. I thought he was consistent over the course of his career at Clemson. And for whatever reason, sometimes when you've been good for a while, you become a victim of your own success, so to speak. And it's like, unless you're doing something more spectacular than what you did the year before, not taking into account that teams are game planning against you more now because you are a name.
Right.
Maybe some of the guys that were to the left or to the right of you or next to you aren't there because they've moved on to the pros or they've moved on from college. So it's a little bit different. Not taking into account other variables. And so a guy like Miles Murphy, who when I first began, like around this time of the year, I had Miles Murphy like top 10 pick. I think at one point, I think I'm like maybe 5th or 6th overall. That guy dropped almost out of the first round.
Wow.
So, but I'm like, he's going to be a great find for somebody.
Right.
So a guy like Miles Murphy was someone that I thought.
Where did he end up?
I want to say, where did he end up? I cannot remember. It wasn't the Chiefs, but it was near where the Chiefs were picking. I don't recall. I apologize, guys. I don't recall where he was. I want to say he's in the AFC, but I don't recall the team.
Right.
But the thing was, it was like, these guys are so talented. It's like you look at what the Bears, what we kind of needed. I'm like, man, you look at his body type. He's about 6'5", about 275. I'm like, dude, that's a perfect DN with his athleticism. That's like almost Bruce Smith like.
So were you hoping we would get him instead of Darnell Wright?
By the time a week, maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the draft, I realized that if we got him, it would only be if he fell. so of the things we needed more so, I felt offensive line was something more dire.
Okay.
And I thought, again, it was a pretty deep draft with defensive linemen as well. So I'm like, if we can get one of the top 3 or 4 offensive linemen and then get a defensive lineman where there's not much differentiation between their skill set and their efficiency on the field, then I can live with that. And I pretty much, it seems like what Poles was thinking too for the most part, because he didn't even draft an edge rusher in the classic sense. So yeah, it's, but then, if, and I don't know how far in advance Poles and his people on his staff are looking ahead. But if you look next year, there are a lot of edge rushers coming out next year. And the Big Ten,
one of my questions.
The Big Ten has several of them. So
I would like to get into that with you.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just saying, we have Nic Roti, who's been waiting in the background. I kind of want to bring him on to overlap with you so we can hang out with Nic and kind of, because now we're in the Bears percent. We have to meet Nic for first and foremost. We haven't met Nic yet, so Walter, let's bring on Nic. Nic,
gentlemen,
what is up?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Excellent.
Nick.
Hey there, how you doing, Nic?
I see Nick's a lot.
Good.
Nick's a Lions fan. I can tell by all the regalia behind him. He's a
Yeah.
big Detroit Lions fan.
Nic from
Hey,
Go Cats.
Yeah, go.
Nic from the Just Another Year podcast joining us. Nic, thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting in the background. We're having a lot of fun with Glenn, so we want to bring you on, make sure you can have a lot of fun with us too. I don't want you sitting around back there. So first question is fish and spaghetti.
Dang.
I mean, definitely have had it. Definitely love it.
Damn, I'm losing. It's like 20-5 or something by now.
Chicago
PJ?
thing, man. Come on now.
All right. That's it. My next meal is going to be fish and spaghetti.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not going to
What
regret
about
it.
fish and Jello?
Ooh. To be honest, I haven't had it, but I'm not opposed to having it. How about that?
You should
Okay.
be.
Sounds
You
good.
should be. You should be. It's right.
I should be opposed.
I'm going to treat
Okay.
you like you've been here just before, so I apologize in advance.
No. If I'm not supposed to have it, get me far away from it. When you said it, I was like, it's a trick question, and I don't want to give the wrong answer, so that's why I'm like, I've never had it. So show me where to go.
The person that brought it into the conversation when we asked about it said, you don't even want to eat that stuff. And he's the one who brought it up. So I'm just going to have to go with him on that one after looking at a picture of it.
It's part of
Oh,
Polish
man.
heritage, and he's
Yes.
Polish, so he was talking about his family loves that, and it was just it's basically like a fish broth made that they make gelatin out of or Jello out of with the fish broth with fish inside of it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It looked bad too.
I'd rather have fish and spaghetti. I know that much.
It looked bad.
Not even going to Google it, so it's not in my cookies algorithm or anything, just so I don't have to worry about that popping up when, what meal should I make tonight? Fish and Jello. That sounds fantastic.
Man, no.
Nic, thanks so much for joining us tonight, man. You're killing it over there. You got a great show going on there with Just Another Year, Jay on YouTube. Appreciate you coming on, man. How are you feeling about this Bears team going forward? What you look up, you see our prediction is 11-6. What are you thinking?
I'm right there with you. That's my floor is 11-6. I think this team, and thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm a big Lions fan, according to Glenn. That's why I'm saying the Bears are going to do a great job. But no, I think the Bears are going to shock a lot of people this year. One thing that I do over at my channel is I kind of break things down into things that no one is talking about. And one thing that I think a lot of people are missing is just the overall athletic ability and strength of this team. I mean, on top of it, there's only 5 guys that are above 30 years old. And that's something that I think is so missed, that this team is so young, but yet They have a lot of talent. Most of the core went through the rebuilding last year, so they're hungry. They have a chip on their shoulder. And then you bring in big veterans like Yannick. You bring in, Nate Davis. I know who hasn't practiced, but hopefully with good reason. I just hope that he's ready to go for week 1. But you completely bring in some of the best linebackers in football coverage wise. But I think this team can, 11-6 is definitely possible. I think that, I was talking with a couple of people about it, 13-4. What team on this roster can the Bears not for sure beat besides the Kansas City Chiefs? No one. You have almost the entire schedule going through either a partial rebuild or they have no identity yet. I mean, the NFC North has no identity, or you're the Green Bay Packers, who are just an absolute mess right now. So I think 11-6. Glenn, I see you moving your head a little bit, man, but I don't know how the Packers are going to keep up with Chicago. I don't know how the Vikings are going to keep up with Chicago. It's pretty much, according to Glenn, my Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. So, and I think the Bears have the edge overall. But that's just me coming in swinging on this conversation.
Well, hold on, though. Are you really a Detroit Lion fan?
No. Glenn was messing with it.
I was going to say, man, y'all know what happened.
You guys can kick me out.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Don Burr, guys. That's Don Burr right there. He's got all the
wait a minute.
I deal with Don Burr too, because he is on
course.
every single one of my shows, and he's just Detroit versus
Trolling.
everyone. And I'm like, I guess so.
That means
Mine's
you've made it.
secretly a Bears fan, man. I've been stalking the guy just to see what he does. I even go on the Detroit Lions podcast, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm
If
like,
Don Burr is in your podcast
Bears.
channel in chat, that means you've made it as a Bear content creator.
I might as well just quit my day job right now, because I can just ride that for the rest of my life.
I'll piggyback on what Nick was saying, and I, looking at the schedule, I don't disagree in terms of there are a lot of winnable games. A good portion of them are winnable. Conversely, they're also can be losable too, if losable is a word. When you look at the quarterbacks that we'll be facing, outside of Mahomes, Herbert, Watson, probably another one that's just Russell, because I think Russell, he had one bad year, doesn't make him a bad quarterback. For the most part, we're facing young quarterbacks that don't have as much time as Justin has had playing the position. Quarterbacks that have proven to be discarded, and there are other teams like Jared Goff, for example, and other quarterbacks have been known to, throw the picks, easy picks. And when we watch Quarterback, for those who watched Netflix's documentary on the NFL quarterbacks, and you're seeing Kirk Cousins throw a pass, and he's screaming as soon as he's like, "No!" after he throws the ball, because it's such a bad pass. So there aren't any quarterbacks that scare me or concern me outside. And Mahomes doesn't scare or concern me because he's Mahomes. I already know that he's the shit. You know what I mean? So, he is what he is. So, but that being said, it's not so much the schedule that concerns me. It's still the Bears coming together as a team, developing their own identity. It's going to take time to gel. And not only that, but we're not as deep as we would like to think that we are. The youth helps, no doubt. Younger team, more times than not, tend to be less injury prone than teams that get older and a little bit longer too. Getting Yannick really helps out a lot. There's probably another win, maybe even another 2 wins that we might not have had. But my concern is still with the passing game. My concern is still with the offensive line and the depth there if someone goes down. And we've already seen some cracks already with our interior, with our guards. They've been banged up. And they need that time to gel. Keep in mind, guys, that offensive line is essentially new. Like outside of Braxton being a left tackle, everybody else is relatively in a new position or new to the team at the position they're at. So that's going to take time for that cohesion to work. And it may look great in practice, but when you start playing other teams, and we still have to learn how to adjust to how they come at us. And that's something that we haven't done yet. We won't know until we actually start playing. Keep in mind, we beat the 49ers last year, and then with Mr. Irrelevant, they're playing in the conference championship game. So, these things play out over time. Defensively speaking, the front seven, essentially new as far as the starters. It's going to take some time for them to learn. Now, I think the defense will acclimate a lot more quickly than the offense will. And I think Eberflus's system, the system we've seen that's very similar to Lovie Smith's system here, they don't have to think as much. These guys can just go out and play. I think you've even heard Javon Dexter say, like in college, I had to think this, that, and such. This system is more suited to my skill set and just be able to go and get after everybody. So that's great to hear. But then you got to play the other teams too, you know. And the secondary, although I think it's the strongest unit, most full, and one with, when I say strongest, not just in terms of their ability, but also with depth. It's going to take some time. Now I see us struggling at times, you know, just trying to be consistent early in the season. I think by mid-October, that's going to be the real Bears team we see going forward. And then right quick, you look at a game like Tampa Bay, you know, you think, okay, that, you know, the GOAT's gone and they've been struggling. They're not the same Tampa team they were. We even beat them the year they went to the Super Bowl. You know, all these things as Bear fans, we tell ourselves. But it's when you play a team too. And let me tell you, when you go to Tampa in September and you're playing a day game and you're not used to it, it's almost as bad as coming to Chicago in January and you're not used to it.
It's not as bad as Miami, but yeah.
It's right there. It really is. My best friend, I've known him for all my life, you know, 4 years, and he lives in the Tampa region. He's a Bear fan through and through, just like everybody here. He's like, F that game. I'm not going. I'm not even sitting in the press box because I've gone before. You can't give me the tickets. And he's not even playing. He's just watching as a fan. So it gets that hot. It can be that problematic. And so it's not as easy a game as it may seem on paper. So again, it's when we catching teams as well. And everyone else made advances and everyone else is better than they thought that they were last year too. So we can't look at it in a vacuum. But enthusiastically speaking, 11-6, that may be Nic's floor. That's kind of my ceiling. So I can vibe with him in that regard. I think my floor moved up a couple of games after we got Yannick, you know, so I was more like 7-10 was kind of my floor, but now I'm like, no, I think 9-8. I can see 9-8. We should be able to get there. And again, that's with health and things progressing. But so yeah, it's going to be not an up and I'll put it this way. This is what I'm looking forward to, and I think as fans, what we should engage ourselves in, and that is, will this team be more exciting? Will this team be entertaining? It's a team that we can watch and grow together with our fandom going forward, as opposed to being pissed off every week and wondering what the hell we're doing and where we're going. We shouldn't be asking where we're going after this season. We should know what direction we're going in.
I got to tell you, Glenn, I was about to pull you after 20 seconds of that, but you just speak so eloquently that I just had to hear you out. And
sorry, guys.
You're right. You're right.
I do want to piggyback off him though, because I agree with a lot of things he said as well. If do we have time for me to piggyback for like 2 minutes real quick about?
Dude, we're listening to you guys talk. You guys are our special guests tonight. Go on. Go off.
I completely agree with everything that you're saying. I think that this team is young. They still got to gel. There's a lot of things going on. But isn't that kind of what we dealt with in 2017? A team that we didn't really know, didn't really have a direction. And then 2018, they came out and shocked everybody. There was a lot of energy camp. What's going on right now? No one really had an identity. They made one for themselves when the season started. And there was an established group in 2017. You know, you got Akeem Hicks, you got Eddie Jackson, you start Prince Amukamara. You know, you had a lot of different players that were starting to build a chemistry, and then went into next season with a young group of guys. And then you bring in a guy like Khalil Mack. I'm not saying Yannick is a Khalil Mack type player, but he has an impact on this team that takes it to a new level. That's where my optimism is coming in, because it's an easy schedule. You had a strong core last year, and 7 games last year, the Bears lost by 1 score. And they were close, and they were one of the worst teams record-wise. I mean, they had the number 1 overall pick. They were the worst team record-wise, but talent and growth, there was a ton of talent and growth there. I mean, Justin Fields had practically no one. He was running for his life every single game, and that's where the whole he's a running back comment comes in. Right. But now you have a guy like DJ Moore who expands this team, this offense tremendously, because you have a double team on Moore. Well, then you got Mooney and Claypool you have to deal with, and I haven't even talked about Kmet or Tunyon yet. So there's so much that is being pulled because they got that talent in there. Justin Fields also got better. going back to your comment about the offensive line, starting five looks great. My definite concern is the depth of the offensive line, especially Nate Davis. Like, I know everyone's like, stop freaking out about Nate Davis. Okay, I think I have every single right to be, and a lot of Bears fans. That's what drives me crazy about Bears fans.
Lucas Patrick all over again.
Lucas Patrick is injured right now, and that's another thing. Is our best. I mean, Alex Leatherwood is our best depth guy, and he's injured right now. You have Carter running out there when Tevin Jenkins is puking on the sideline because he didn't have enough water that day. But overall, I agree with the depth. We definitely don't have all of that yet in every position. But at defensive line, I think we have more than a lot of people expect. Javon Dexter Sr. is going to be an absolute asset to this team. He looks fantastic right now. Mm-hmm. Pickens, he has his moments. I went to 2 training camps. He looked good at both of them. I'm not saying he was explosive, but the Anthony Jones that we brought in from Houston as an undrafted rookie free agent, he's been a sack machine. You have Bell, who has been really beneficial as well. And then the entire defensive line, I mean, Andrew Billings is arguably the strongest guy in the NFL at the defensive line position. It's just this team just has so much energy, and they're just caged, and they want to be unleashed. So I totally agree that this season can go one of 2 ways. Either they're going to find their identity halfway through the season, and then next year they're going to be good. There's no doubt that in 2025, they're going to be a super serious team.
Yeah.
But this year, that's kind of my why not the Bears. And I think they're going to shock a lot of people. And this defensive line, I think this defensive line is better than a lot of people think. The linebacking group, we got a diamond in a dozen in Jack Sanborn. I think he's going to be a huge, huge asset this year. We got 2 guys for the price of Roquan Smith, who are both arguably top 10 coverage linebackers in tackling machines. And then, like you were saying, Glenn, when you go to that secondary, they are stacked to the brim. I mean, they can't choose who their starters are. And, you take Tyreek Stevenson, you could throw him on any other team, and there's a good chance he could be CB2. Mm-hmm. So this team, I don't know, man. This team just, I feel there's so much passion for it. I'm super excited about it. But, that's why I'm so optimistic. And I want Bears fans to actually be excited, because on Twitter, Twitter's a bloodbath all the time anyway. And everyone's like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, how could you say this? Like, the team's better. Accept it whether you like it or not. And there's going to be a better product on the field this year. And then on top of it, I'm even more excited for next year's draft, because we have we have 3 first. In the first 3 rounds, we have 4 picks in our first 4 picks, 2 being first rounders, 1 being Carolina, who knows what they're going to do this year. They lost. If the Bears get the number 1 overall pick back to back, I would be absolutely ecstatic about it.
That would be crazy.
But that's kind of my little spiel there in regards to everything. I know it's training camp, but this team looks good. They're playing well. The injuries, I don't think Tremaine Edmonds and DeMarcus Walker's injuries are as bad as people are saying they are. I think it's kind of just like they're veterans, they're established, they're still in team meetings, like they're very active according to reports. So it's not like they're going to be missing a beat, and they look great too. So I don't know that I think we're both in mutual agreement. 11-6 is very, very possible,
attainable,
but yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited about this team. I just hope everyone else is too, because it's going to be fun to watch Bears football.
You came to the right place. This is the Homer team over here.
I love you, Nick.
That's great.
I love you, Nick. But man, take a breath. You just go on there, man. I thought you needed some oxygen.
I don't stop. You got to come watch. You got to come on our show one time. I don't stop. And everyone tells me, they're like, this guy must have lungs of an opera singer, because he does not drink coffee. And I don't drink coffee either. So just imagine if you get a little caffeine in me. I would be probably able to run the Chicago Marathon next week.
I got a question for both of you guys, though. Have you guys, either one of you, heard why Nate is not doing contact practices? Nate Davis, that is?
I have not.
I've heard that he is still dealing with an injury he obtained during the first week of camp, so when it was private. But
okay.
He looks fine. He's walking on his own power. You see him jogging on the sideline. I think that they kind of look at him as, this is our valuable guy. We want to keep him good for week 1. And with how the offensive line's been dropping like flies, maybe
right.
Maybe Flus is like, we need you. So I think he'll be fine. I would not be shocked if we saw him in pads on Saturday. That just putting that out there, a little bit of a hot take. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw him in pads. Playing, no, but you never know.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I noticed the time that he did practice is when they were not in pads. So the fact that, if he's dresses but not plays, is still the same thing. I'm just curious why he's not in pads actually hitting someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's not playing this weekend.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't play.
I would, yeah.
No, he hasn't.
Right.
There's not enough practice time to put him in a game right now.
Right. He hasn't had no padded practices. So, yeah.
It's his old team. He might try too hard. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
So I wanted to talk to you about the Packers game because I've heard you kind of start off one way, Glenn, and kind of come back another way. So I'm curious to know. Okay, first off, if we lose the Packers game, is Chicago going to burn down?
No, that happened already in the 1800s.
Okay, is it going to burn down again?
Yeah, been there, done that. No, it's not going to happen again. Been there, done that.
The history will not repeat itself.
No.
Okay.
That was good. That was good.
I think there will be a lot of beer drinking after, and a lot of people calling Monday off.
there may be some abused husbands because the wives ain't gonna have it when the husbands come home. They're like, no, you're not taking this out on me. Sit your ass down. The husbands will be the ones in traction. So yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything from your perspective, Glenn, that should lead us to believe that Jordan Love can succeed Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, not as Aaron Rodgers.
No, wait, no, hold on a second.
Hey man, I'm sorry,
Wait,
I'm objective.
Walt, you got to pull him. You got to pull him.
No.
You can't pull Glenn. Glenn's my guy.
I couldn't get to it quick enough. Sorry.
I think he's secret. If he's calling me secretly a Lions fan, he's secretly a Packers fan.
Oh, God,
guys.
no.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I'll say this: there are four teams that you will never ever see me root for. Alabama Crimson Tide, they go to hell. Florida Gators, F them. Ole Miss Rebels, I just can't for socio-political reasons. Just can't roll with Rebels, and the Green Bay Packers. And if you really, really just want to see me just lose it, and when you have to pull me because I start going flim, flarf, and I can't stop cursing, talk about Marist High School. I effing hate that freaking school. Other than that,
I'm just kidding.
Other than that, they're fine. No, I look at the Packers, man, and I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. In my opinion, in the NFL to succeed, it's consistency and continuity. And of the teams in this division, Packers have it the most.
Get your finger on that pull button, Walter. Get your finger on that pull button. Just kidding.
Pull me now. I mean, at the job today, we were talking about it, and a guy was saying something to me. Well, CBS guy said that Jordan Love looked horrible, and the Packers are, there's the debacle. I'm like, okay. CBS guy's a national guy. Is he really there? When the guy from Green Bay, the reporter from Green Bay who's on the beat, is there telling me that they stink and he's been on the beat for X amount of years, that person I'll give that latitude to. But there's no way you can tell me this organization would let Aaron go and extend Jordan. You may keep Jordan and let Aaron go for a lot of different reasons. I get that, but you're not going to extend Jordan. You're not, especially with the quarterbacks that are coming out next year. You have at least two that will be top 5 quarterbacks in Caleb Williams and Drake May, excuse me. And to a lesser degree, Michael Penix, if his knee shows to be durable. He's got some knee issues that he may or may not. And they have other quarterbacks that may jump into the first round. Joe Milton at Tennessee has a strong opportunity to follow Hendon Hooker's, footsteps and have a successful season like he did. So that being said, don't extend a guy if you don't have to. And they have 2 first-round picks. So, why extend it? If he sucks, that helps you out. So I don't believe by any stretch that Jordan Love will stink. Will he be great? No. Will he be average to good and have an up and down? Sure, of course. He's got to acclimate to the NFL. No one just your best quarterbacks don't just come in and just dominate for an entire season. It just doesn't. Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly, and he sat for a year. Okay,
Do you have a comparison?
Jordan Love.
Yes.
I think, not saying that he's this person because of physicality, because they don't have the same type of game, but I think
DeShone Kizer.
No, he's better than DeShone Kizer. But I think in terms of effectiveness going forward, a person who sat for a while and will come in and have some success and then be successful going forward, I look at Steve McNair. And I'm not saying they're the same guy, because Steve's a lot more physical.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, RIP, of course, but he was a lot more physical of a player than Jordan Love has shown. Jordan seems to be more finesse comparatively. But I'm talking about in terms of being on the team, acclimating to the team, understanding what the team wants, coming in and still being confined by the constraints of what the team wants you to do on the field starting out. He's going to follow what the head coach wants him to do. And like Aaron's like, no, dude, I'm going to do this my way. And you get with me, not the other way around. Coming in, Jordan's going to follow the dictates of what the offense is asking him to do. So that's why I'm drawing the comparison with Steve McNair. And if you look back at the Houston Oilers, / Tennessee Titans, but I think they were still Houston Oilers when Steve took over. He'll have a season like that. Now I can't quite remember how good the defense when Steve took over. I'm not sure how good the defense was. I know the offense had some pieces in place. You look at Green Bay, pretty much everything's in place. They've had offensive line issues with help up and down, but outside of that, and they've got better depth at receiver now. They've got a young tight end, but they have a tight end. And that defense is a lot of number one guys in that defense, and they came together better towards the end of last year going forward, and I think they have a lot to prove. And again, that consistency and continuity, and Jordan has been on that team, so he's part of that continuity, and part of that, he just needs to develop the consistency. But as a team, I don't think there's any team on that has it better than them. I think the Lions are right behind the Packers. The Vikings, on offense, they have it in spades. I think Justin Jefferson could be an offensive player of the year, to be quite honest with you. And he'd be low-key MVP. He's not going to get it because the quarterback's going to get it, but he'll be low-key MVP. But that defense, good luck with that defense from Minnesota.
Yeah, I think with the comparison to McNair, that's kind of scary for me, because I thought McNair was he was that guy. I mean, he was a dude, because I seen him when he played for Alcorn State, and he was a dude. So I'm hoping you're wrong on that aspect. But as far as the running game, so you think Green Bay will be run heavy as opposed to what they used to be with Aaron? I know they had some runs.
No, they were still pretty strong running with Aaron too, and that was part of the what Aaron had to acclimate to. He's like, wait, I'm Aaron Rodgers, and you want me to pass less? No, I've got MVPs I need to make. What are you kidding? Aaron, you can still get the MVPs. No. Oh, wait. Oh, and he gets back-to-back MVPs. So, I think if they ran with Aaron, they're definitely going to run with Jordan Love. So I think, and you've got two good running backs, and they didn't hand the ball off enough to Jones, in my opinion. So I think they'll do more of that.
Let's be fair to Aaron. His second MVP was because he did ayahuasca.
Whatever it takes.
Hey,
according to him, that's why he had to stay in a cave or in the dark for a weekend or something. He had to do his soul searching again and realize I can't go back to that team.
Yeah, I'd ask a race car driver who he was dating at the time. I can't remember her name, but
Danica Patrick.
Yeah. Ask Danica, and she'll probably tell you something that that Aaron doesn't want her to tell you. Look, when your family doesn't like you,
Well, that's why they started dating, because they're both in the closet.
Oh!
Flag!
Closets have doors, and people can open and close them at will. All right.
No, but seriously, did you hear that there was a story about Aaron Rodgers that he was like,
it's stories about everybody. I could care less.
I could care less either, but it might make some sense out of him at least.
Nothing's going to make sense out of that guy. But you know what? It looks like he's having a lot of fun in New York. So God bless him. He's out of our hair.
Good for him. Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what happens to him if New York Jets have some adversity at the beginning of the year, and how does he respond to it?
Well, they will have some adversity. You see that schedule? I mean, they got a hell of a schedule starting out.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious, because everything's
relax.
Yeah, that's it. Until you run across Buffaloes and those guys, I'm real curious to see how he responds.
Man, I took a bet on PointsBet. I think it's one of the things. I'm sorry if you've got another sponsor. I don't know. I just off the top of my head where I put for Aaron. I took a chance on him being MVP.
Really,
dude?
This
look
year?
at the talent, dude. Look at the talent on that offense. Now, don't let Breece Hall come back healthy, and don't let them get cooked. Oh my God! Well, where do you stop? And Aaron, dude, and he's at practice. He's been there the whole time. He's been to the OTAs. He's smiling. He's helping the other quarterback. He's helping Wilson. Hey, we didn't see him help anybody when he was in Green Bay. We didn't see him helping Jordan. Jordan's a nice guy. We didn't see him helping him. No, I mean, Aaron is relaxed. He's enjoying and nothing more dangerous than a vet who relaxed and is on a new team, has a new lease on life, and something. We've seen this play out several times. We just saw it recently with the GOAT. Okay, as much as you may or may not like Tom Brady, going to Tampa rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we got to see personality. We didn't see that kind of personality. He was doing more commercials after he got to Tampa than he ever did when he was with New England. So yeah, man, I think Aaron. And then here's the thing: every game it's a prove it game. I mean, there's no breaks. You know what I mean? You don't. There's no take people for granted kind of thing, and it's all new. So yeah, man, I think if anybody, and not only that, but if he has an ego that I think he has, he is in the conference to prove it. There's no better conference of quarterbacks that I've seen in my lifetime than I've seen in the AFC.
Yes, absolutely not. And the other thing that I keep saying is another playoff game, or I should say an extra playoff game, an extra season game, right? Those things add up to being able to make the playoffs easier for any team. And, the Bears, there's no reason why they can't go from worst to first, because they weren't the worst last year, like Nick was saying.
I agree.
How many games did they lose?
The defense cost them several games.
Yeah,
14, but they really, if you take away 7 of those losses, I mean, really, they lost 14 games, but you take away half of those 7 losses, they're a 6-10 team. They're not terrible, but they're still not good. But they're developing. And also, yes, I saw Swifty's comment. I'm not here to talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore, the Green Bay Packers. Can we please move to a new subject?
It's random trivia time, guys. Everyone knows that the Miami Dolphins handed the Bears their only loss in 1985. But who came in the next closest to beating the Bears by only losing by 6 points? A, the Colts. B, the Packers, C, the Cowboys, or D, the Vikings?
That Viking game was close until McMahon came in and threw some touchdowns. I'm leaning that.
I think it was the Colts.
But
right?
I'm gonna go with the Colts because it just seems like the answer that wouldn't be. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I'm going with D, the Vikings.
I'm gonna go with I thought the Bucks were going to be on this list because
the Bucks should have been in it. Yeah, the Bucks
that first game of the season was rough.
The second game too. They almost got them in Tampa. I thought the Bucks shot, but the Bucks aren't our option. And remember the Colts. That's when Walter was on that string of 100 games in a row. I think he had to run for like another 100 just to maybe beat that Colts team. I'm going to stick with the Colts.
Let's see what the chat. Okay, so Colts. What do you say, PJ?
I said D, the Vikings.
So, chat, we got Mark Kazak says B, the Packers. Doug Van Dorn says A, the Colts. Walter Besky says B. Let's see. Demond says the Colts. Cliff Victoria says the Colts. I don't even remember that Colts game, so I'm going to go Colts too, just because you guys all did. Let's see. I have the answer here. Nobody knows the answer, so my wife writes them down on the back. Oh,
wow.
Packers. Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
That's the one where the Fritz caught the touchdown pass? Was that the one that was close? That's the one?
That must be.
Okay. I knew I should have went. I should have agreed with Walter. That was my fault. I got to agree with Walter.
See, I would have thought that we were just handing the Packers their ass back then, and that was just that wasn't even going to be a close game at all.
As I'm playing it back in my head, I kind of remember the Fridge caught that touchdown pass, and it was kind of close. I mean, obviously this is the answer, but I remember that was something.
I don't remember what the score was in that game.
Was it 21-17 or something like that?
Oh, was that the Butler kick to win the game or something? Could have been a Butler kick to win that game. It might have been, or maybe I'm thinking of a year or two after that. Well, let's since we're on trivia, let's do another one.
Got Condon saying the Colts.
Who led the Bears with 7 touchdown catches during the '85 season, but did not catch a pass in the Super Bowl? A. Emery Moorhead, B. Willie Gault, C. Dennis McKinnon, or D. Walter Payton?
I know McKinnon.
I'm going to go Willie Gault.
No, he caught a big pass from McMahon from the end zone. I remember that one. Emery Moorhead
Well, also I wasn't even a thought in 1985, so I think I'm going to disagree.
Fair enough. Walter had a hard time running the ball. I don't even know if they even threw the ball to him. But I don't think I don't remember him catching 7 touchdowns. I'm gonna go Walter Payton. Dennis was leading the league at one point with touchdowns, but then he kind of got hurt off and on, and he wasn't. I don't know if 7. I think McMahon only threw for like 24 touchdown passes that year, but Fuller also quarterbacked that year too. So I'm gonna go with Walter.
I'm gonna go with Willie Gault, B.
Okay.
No.
For me,
that wasn't really fair.
I got my guy Walter saying C, and I got my guy Mark going with D. I'm going to go with Walter and say C.
Probably McKinnon.
Dennis McKinnon.
Probably McKinnon.
Swifty says C. Mammy, who is my mammy, says D. Let's see.
I don't remember Walter catching a pass. I can't really see McKinnon catching one either.
Doug Van Dorn says D. Payton. I'm gonna go with B. For sure.
Willie Gault?
Yeah, I'm going with Walt.
It is not Willie Gault. Oh, I promise you that.
You're right, because he did catch a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl.
No, it wasn't. It should have been a touchdown. He got caught from behind, but it was a big pass.
Oh, he did not catch a. Okay.
No. He caught a pass, but not a touchdown pass. Because at one point, Willie Gault had a chance to be MVP or Super Bowl.
Willie Gault. Stick with your gut.
I'm going with Willie Gault. Let's do it. Let's see what the answer is here. Dennis McKinnon.
I should have stuck with my first answer.
C was correct.
Yeah, see. Start
STC
doubting myself.
was correct. Swifty was correct.
See,
everyone else, Walter was correct.
Too much information.
Too much information.
I'm lining up with Walter every time.
What happened to Foster, by the way?
His internet.
Oh.
His internet.
That'll do it.
He's trying to do that dial-up.
He wants me to send a link onto his phone so he can. Let me do that.
Man.
The last
okay, Swifty, I see you. Boom. All right. You want to get to some questions in the chat for these gentlemen?
Yes, let's do that.
What you got there, Walter, from the chat? What questions these guys have for these nice young men? And I can't say young.
You said young. Thank you.
I can't say young. Trust me. I can't say young.
I was talking about you and I, Nick.
I was talking about Glenn and Nick. All of y'all, actually. All y'all are young comparatively. Yes, young.
See,
my new best friend. Thanks, BJ.
Is it just because I have a gray beard? Is that what it?
Well, yeah. I mean, with that dance you be doing,
I bet you if Nick grew out a beard, it'd be gray too. That's why he doesn't. He shaves it
every day.
I still got mine there, Glenn. I still got it.
Nope.
I still got it. But trust me, man.
Foster, check your Twitter DM. I sent you a link. See if you can hop on with that. All right, so we have some questions here for. Go ahead, PJ. Would you guys mind if I stepped out to go to the washroom while PJ controls the chat here, the
Not
chat
at all.
questions for you. I'll be right back.
I got you. All right. So Mark Kazak, one of our faithful members in our chat, asks, what are your thoughts about DeAnthony Jones? Will he make the roster?
You know, he's playing.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead, Nick. No.
No,
Please, go ahead.
I'll start off. He's had a hot camp. I mean, he's definitely one of those roster bubble guys that will. Let me say it this way: for sure, practice squad. Like I have him a lock practice squad. This team needs a ton of depth at defensive line, and I think he's done a great job. He's disrupted the ones, which is impressive, and he's done it in pads. He's very fast off the snap. I know a lot of people were concerned about the one day Dexter had slow snap. Dexter's obviously making the roster. I'm just making a small comparison there, but he has been consistent every single practice in the backfield against the 3s and 2s. And when he's gone up against the 1s, he's still performed there. So usually there's always, I would say, 1 or 2 guys that do make this roster and like a bubble kind of guy, undrafted rookie free agent. I'm going to go with yes, because there has been so much hype around him in regards to the undrafted rookie free agents. And also we need defensive line help. We don't know who's going to be the answer moving forward. So I think Poles is going to take that shot and say yes to him. So I'm going to go yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just real quickly say, I think he makes it, but on the practice squad, we'll have a better idea once he actually plays other competition. And sometimes every year it seems like there's one guy, all the fans are like, oh yeah. And then so for whatever reason, that guy ends up not making the roster. You know, he's like in the rotating, like he's in street clothes, or, you know, it's a numbers game. And I think he's going to get caught up in the numbers game, unfortunately. But to what Nick said, what may help him is, you know, there's not a lot of depth at his position. So, but I think practice squad, definitely, I'm not so certain about, you know, 53-man or 54-man roster.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't his measurables 6 feet, like 275? Or am I totally wrong?
No, he's a little heavier than 275. I know he's a smaller defensive lineman. I think he's pushing 290. So, I mean, still, all things considered, he's a small defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's like 6 feet, right?
Yeah, he's only 6 feet, but what makes him so impactful, I mean, Aaron Donald's only 6 feet, and what makes him so impactful is his speed, because he's so quick off the snap, and that made him such a threat in college. I actually really thought the Bears were actually going to draft him. I'm shocked he went undrafted with the report that he had, but yeah, he's quick. That's what makes him dangerous, but he is a small defensive lineman. Kind
of like Elijah Cansey from Pittsburgh.
Right,
University of Pittsburgh. But yeah, sometimes that height, people see in a certain kind of light. You know, who knows? He might be that guy that when he's on a second or third team, you know, then before you know it, he's like a Hall of Famer or something. You know, just some guy. It's like he has to be in the right place at the right time. You know, and it becomes a numbers game in the NFL. Sometimes you get caught up. So, hope that answers the question.
Yep.
The second follow up I have to that is, with him doing as well as he's doing in Lewis, what do you guys see with Travis Gibson?
Ooh,
I don't know, man. I'm so apoplectic about him.
Me too.
There are times where, you know, I hate to sound trite, but he flashes, you know, and you're like, man, yeah. And then it's like, oh, he played back-to-back weeks? So until something happens to where you can say, you know, that, remember I said that consistency and continuity is what you need in the NFL to succeed. So he becomes part of that consistency part. I'm very lukewarm on him.
I'm in the same boat. It's a sad story because, 2 years ago he had 7 sacks when, Robert Quinn was red hot, and, he got along really well with Roquan Smith. Obviously Smith's no longer here. He was a building block. It's a good story too. Late round pick from Tulsa, had a nice NFL career, but coming to Alan Williams' defense, he hasn't been able to do anything. And I see Swifty talking in the comments. He's either got to do something or he will get cut. I mean, you saw the depth chart. He was at the absolute bottom out of edges for it. Right. And also it's a contract year for him. So I haven't looked at his contract breakdown, but if he has not a lot of dead cap and the Bears save money by cutting him, I mean, he'll be gone next year anyway. But if the Bears are trying to evaluate talent like we're talking about for next year, he's just a roster spot being taken up that he's not going to play on the practice squad. That's not going to happen. So either he's making it and he's going to be really low and get no playing time, or they're just probably going to flat out cut him.
Well, here's the thing about Gibson. He came from college in a 4-3, went into a 3-4, right? And he started to look good in that defense. And then, boom, he gets put back into a 3-4 brand new system, and now he struggles in it. Is it something that we're just looking past that another year in this system, maybe even though he's not flashing it in practice now? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate to this because I'm a homer too. But could it be something that another year in this defensive system, he'll get better in it?
I think Nick and I both say the same thing. It's like,
I'm doing the same thing.
You don't have to wait for him. There are other players that are probably more talented, so you don't have to wait for him. You know, we should be in a position going forward where we want guys that we know definitively can do what we want them to do and need them to do, or we can see them doing it sooner than later. And at this point next year, he'll be later than sooner. And I don't know if that's really going to work for them.
I think I've always said that he's more of a Robin than a Batman. So last year when he was asked to be Batman, he wasn't able to be that. So therefore, although he was in top 5 and getting double teams in the league, but yet he wasn't able to actually get the sacks. But when he did have a Batman, as in Robert Quinn, so he was able to play Robin to him.
Robin?
Yeah,
thinking more like Aqualad or something. I think Robin's too good. Yeah,
7 sacks for I say Robin gets you 7 sacks.
You know what, man? 7 sacks looks nice, but sometimes when a guy hits home runs, they're empty home runs. Sometimes the sacks can be empty sacks. It's a number that's nice, but what did those sacks? Did they win the game? Did they change the course of Rivers?
Well, that's why he's Robin and not Batman.
I think that's why he's Aqualad.
And they were also pretty much triple teaming Robert Quinn that year because he was just a sack machine. So I know I made the comment about 7 sacks, and it shows that he can get after the quarterback, but he needs there's Batman, Robin, Aqualad, and then there's someone else.
Wonder Twins.
Yeah. Oh man, who's the raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon. Yeah. Then there's him. So, and it's funny because he has the hammer, which he's kind of trying to be like Thor, but he never was able to do that.
My wife worked on that movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. She was in a cut.
Nice.
I got to walk on the set. This is a piece of the rock that was on one of the sets made out of styrofoam.
Okay, that's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Very excited about my styrofoam rock. Sorry.
No. I don't know. It's a tough position. I wish him the best. That's the one thing is that if he gets cut, he'll get picked up right away because he does have NFL experience, probably a 1-year contract. And I feel like when that always happens, they always go to the Arizona Cardinals, kind of like early retirement,
or Atlanta Falcons.
Or the Falcons.
Yeah.
Ryan Pace will definitely be calling. So but tough position for Gibson. Feel bad for him, but if he can fight his way onto the roster, I still don't think he'll get a lot of playing time.
Well, I'm rooting for him. Actually, I'm rooting for him.
Of course you are. Because, see, well, PJ's thing is he loves drafted. We all want to see our drafted players succeed. So, but I'm not picking on you, PJ, right now.
That's okay.
Just letting you know, I'm actually giving you credit. Like PJ's, we're a bunch of homers on this show, and PJ is an exceptional homer because he loves his drafted players and he wants them to be re-signed and succeed, and we all do. So I can get that. I do too. I want Gibson to succeed.
Let me ask you this question. I don't know if you guys play Madden or not, but if you have Madden, would you keep Gibson on your Madden team? If the answer is no, then the Bears are probably not going to do that. And I wouldn't keep him on my Madden team. Nick and I are like, no, he's not.
You play Madden, Glenn?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's. My handle is Mr. Shorty. Let's play some Madden online.
Right. So I just dropped the old one to get the new one. So yeah.
Nice.
Glenn, you can trade up to 2030. So I'm trading a 2036 round for Gibson. You never know. Get something for him, and you can keep the money too. We'll
Yeah,
pay him.
there you
We'll
go.
pay for it. Just give us a draft pick in a couple.
I'm just saying, I want to see Gibson succeed.
I do
And
too.
I want to tell you guys a secret.
Some other team.
Hold on a second. Before you secret, Foster, we have a Foster sighting. And Glenn, I want to play you on Madden now.
Yeah. When the new one
Mr.
comes out,
Sturdy,
let's do it.
I'll give you my handle on. We'll exchange emails or handles, and I want to play you. That'd be awesome. You too, Nick. I want to get my ass kicked by you guys.
I'm down. I just got my new Xbox. I'm down.
Dude, my buddy's 9-year-old son beat me 63-6.
You hate to hear it.
He actually admitting it too.
He sent me the link. He sent me the thing for me to quit. I'm like, no. You're gonna sit here in pain and kick my ass.
Right.
Man.
So I'm
Big
sorry.
time. What were you saying, Nick? So you're saying you can't beat me? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I'm the greatest. I prefer to keep my knowledge and skills in talking about the Bears, not playing with them, because I don't want to embarrass them in Madden. There's too much. I talk too big of a game for the Bears to have a good record for me to then play someone who actually plays religiously in Madden. So I was
my buddy had his son doing all of his Madden Ultimate Team stuff. Yeah, he'd be like, here, just beat all these things for me. So his kid just got amazingly good at it, and he just wiped my ass up. My
old college roommate, actually, and one of my best friends, he's a Madden YouTuber. His name is Kenny Games. If you guys have heard of him, he has like 130,000 followers, and I played him. I go out to Denver to visit him, and I'm like, hey man, let me play you in Madden. This is a couple beers later, by the way. Keep that in mind. Couple cold Miller Lights
and some legal
high
weed.
In the mountains. No. Hey.
High in the mountains, he says.
not just hiking. But yeah. So we sit down. I'm like, all right, I play all pro. You play the worst level, and he still beat me 28-14. And I was
oh
like,
my God. All right, so you and I need to play, Nick.
Sure, absolutely. More than that. Okay,
I agree with Mark in the chat who says Foster must be headed to Green Bay again as he's driving.
What are you doing? Are you up there for some more lady action, Foster?
He's going up for two ladies. He's got that beer too. Was it two ladies? Is that what it is?
You guys are hilarious, man. No, actually, what happened was my internet is down in the neighborhood. So I thought maybe I'd run down to the corner and see if there's anybody who's got any Bears questions. It's Comcast. I have a problem with them all the time, man.
What neighborhood are you in?
I'm on the far northwest side, man.
That's okay. O'Hare. Don't tell on yourself. It's all right.
I live next to O'Hare. My internet's working just fine, man. What's going on?
You're getting called out here, Foster. That's it. Pull him, Walter.
I called Comcast.
Oh, there he goes.
I called Comcast. Get out of here.
Yeah. They just said, "Oh, your service will be back on around 9:30 tomorrow night." And I'm like, "Dad, it's normal." Is what it is, man.
You guys are lucky. He's in his car to where you don't have to see him remodeling the house.
Oh.
So trust me, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
he can only show you the house he's remodeling.
There's bodies behind the paneling.
I didn't hear that. I don't know anything.
No, wait. He said Northwest by O'Hare, and I'm pretty sure John Wayne Gacy was over there. Foster.
Hey,
too young to know about that.
You want to hear something?
Uh-oh.
I walked past John Wayne Gacy's house every day throughout the 70s into the early 80s. When he got caught, man. 79, 78, 79. Serious. I know people that he got, and he actually hit my brother-in-law. Is Glenn okay over there?
You choking him, man.
You're killing everyone over here.
He wasn't ready, bro.
Not literally though. Not literally though.
Dude, see, it's breaking up, man.
Called you out, Foster. He called you out on that. Look, everyone just fits right in here on the show. You guys are awesome.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
I will say this is that I watched the documentary on Netflix, and then 2 months later, I'm living literally right next to the Des Plaines police station. So, you know, everything's getting a little freaky, Foster. My doors are absolutely locked tonight.
This Plains police station is very far from his residence, man. He's in Chicago. That just happened because the kid that lived through it, that's where he lived. That's how it ended up in Des Plaines, dude. That case is Chicago.
You're right. You're right. I'm messing with you. I like a good history.
No, don't worry. Unfortunately, I know the Des Plaines police station or that police station pretty well, and I'll just stop there.
Went on mute. Foster, I feel like I've seen you walking out of Minor Tavern before a couple times, maybe toward the police station, and I'm like, oh, now I know him.
Hey, do we have that clip?
Would have had to have been last century, my friend. Last century.
Okay.
Do we have that clip of
Wasn't me.
on Chicago? Was it Chicago Fire, Foster, that you was on? Or Chicago
PD.
Chicago PD.
I've done a bunch of them. Yeah, I wanted him to show your high school reunion picture instead of my acting.
Oh, you got you have that shorty.
Where is
clip
that?
from the man.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize it.
It's gonna take me a second to find it, but yeah, I have it. Yeah, Foster was on what was it? Chicago PD.
I did some background acting. I actually was on a sitcom too, but nobody ever picked it up. So
you also
COVID really messed that whole thing up.
So what Foster was is he was a background actor that just was walking past in the background wearing a doctor's suit, you know, and with a clipboard, so he looked like a doctor.
Right.
You know what I just found? You know, so my wife has worked in the film industry forever. And they, if you guys know, there's a strike going on with the writers for the movies,
Right.
And now the actors got into it. What happened with that is anyone who was even signing on, like you, Foster, just to be a non-SAG card holder or an Actors Guild card holder, so you couldn't even speak, even if you were just a background actor like you were. They were scanning people for AI. And it was in the fine print that their likeliness could be used in the future for AI. So now, because the whole strike is about AI taking over the writers' guilds, so that AI starts writing stuff for movies and TV shows and stuff. But now, not only that, but they've been taking the likenesses of people like you, Foster, maybe not you, but you know, in the recent future, where they can use you if you were in the background of something, and they can they scan your body, they can use you and make you an extra in the background for something else without you even knowing, because you signed the contract without reading the fine print. So no wonder why there's a major strike going on. It's like, we're not going to see some good entertainment coming out of the movie and, you know, film industry for like this. This is going to be like a COVID thing where we're going to see like a backlash of a year or two before we start seeing any more new content coming out. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's why we have the Bears.
Exactly. Yes, that's why we're talking Bears.
Not just movies, but TV is really going to be the content, and Netflix, all those streaming services really made a big difference in a bad way, because there's so much of a need to fill these shows. In the past, you'd have networks where your writers were employed for 26 to 30 weeks writing. But now you have series that now just 10 episodes long or 12 episodes long. So a writer has to hustle up, you know, and get 2 times as many gig opportunities, but everyone else is caught in the same, you know, spin cycle, trying to do the same thing. Everyone's fighting for the same scraps. No one has that, you know, that long-term availability on being, you know, with one team. Not only that, but a lot of times these guys, they're not even being allowed to be on set for the rewrites, which is
Yeah.
really integral to a story because a lot of times things happen. You want your writers there, so they're not even being allowed there. They're being sectioned off into smaller rooms. You used to have rooms where you had maybe 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 people. Now you're getting like maybe 2 to 4, 4 to 6. So yeah, the writers are really, really getting screwed. And I forget the name of the conglomerate that's pretty much responsible for employing them. They're just going to wait them out. They're going to they have enough money to where they're just going to more or less kind of break the union, so to speak, or break that aspect of the union.
Disney is one of them.
Yeah.
They refuse to negotiate. Big companies like that.
Yep.
That have refused to negotiate.
Let me
It's
just
sad.
add real quick. Glynn, you are truly a professional. Please, though, go get some water. I see you choking. I see you choking.
I
see
did.
you choking.
That's just when Foster mentioned the stuff with the Gacy thing. I was drinking at the time, and the Nile Creek went down my throat and it got through my nose, and like, what the hell?
In your own era, I hate when that happens. You're choking on your own spit or your own drink, and you're like, awful.
Glenn, you're supposed to say and Foster. King Foster, is it, Dan?
F-A, capital F, lowercase a, capital K, King, fucking Foster. Nick, before I know Nick,
So
Nick wants to take off, but we have a special surprise for you, Nick. We have somebody who wants to come on and talk with you really quick before you leave. Walter, let's bring on Swifty.
Hey,
Swifty in
What's
the
up,
house.
Yo, what's good? What's good, man?
what's up, Swifty? How are you, man?
Man, good. I've been wanting to be on your show for so long, and I realized it today when I was talking to Dan. I was like, you know what? I can't plan things, okay? I'm not a planner. Like, you got to be like Dan and just hit me up someday, like an hour before, and be like, yo, Swift, you want to record sometime? And I'll be like, yeah, man.
Go check your DM, Swifty. I am always like, hey, you want to get on? And you're like, ah, shit, my bad. No, so funny story, guys. Did Swift tell you the story how we know each other from like years ago, or no?
No.
So Swifty used to work. Are you still down in Bloomington, Swifty, or no?
No, not anymore.
You gone?
I was
Yeah,
for a while.
Are you still at 1525 Bloomington Avenue in Bloomington?
Wow. Too much information.
But we knew each other when I was down at school in Bloomington, so we ran into each other a few times. And when Swifty came on a long time ago, I was like, dude, you look familiar. And he goes, where do we know each other from? And I said I went to ISU. He goes, that's where. So no, we've known it. We were chopping it up before we even chopped it up online. So what a surprise, man. This is great.
Yeah, I saw you were going to be on tonight, and I messaged Dan, and I was like, bro, I'm going to hop on because I got to let Nick know that, like, I'm not avoiding him. I'm just not good at scheduling things. I'm always watching tape, and anytime I schedule something out, like 2 weeks, you know, it's just something I'm just going to dread for the entire 2 weeks. You just got to hit me up, like, spur of the moment, man. I'm not a planner.
Done deal. Absolutely. I will from now on. I will literally be like, "Hey, want to get on 5 minutes?"
That's what you got to do.
I just send him a link to every show. If he hops on, he hops on.
He does really do that.
Also, I don't know if anyone in here is watching that was going in between both our channels before, but like Swifty and I don't have beef. By the way, there was rumors going around that like him and I had beef.
I told him that on the comments.
It was weird. It was weird. So squashing that. We're all good. We're gonna have a show together soon. But yes, what a surprise. Thanks for saving that, guys. I really appreciate it.
I had to come on too because Glenn was making this a Packers show. I had to bring a little bit more Bears back on here. I was watching. He was talking about Jordan Love the whole time, and I was like, I gotta change the topic and get on there and switch the category back to Bears. Just teasing with you, Glenn, man. Good talk. It was good listening though.
Glenn, if you don't know who Swifty is, Swift Sports Network is.
I've actually watched some of this stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Just Bears stuff. Just Bears stuff.
Yes.
You have another fan, Swifty. Look at you.
Oh, man.
Telling you, Swift.
Swifty is a big. He's our brother here on BCP, so we appreciate you coming on.
I can put the face. I can put the face with the voice now. So yeah.
Yeah, I've only put the face on for a few videos. Yeah, I don't have it on all the time. Foster, what do you got shining back there? Is that the cops with a spotlight? Should we be worried?
Yeah, I'm not drinking anymore when Foster's talking.
Foster's
I just
wild,
got pulled
man.
over for flipping the officer off, but I'm okay. No.
He's wild, bro.
I literally was at a bar, two bars, and nobody wants to talk about the Bears, man, because I think they're all drunk. But that's all right. I guess that's what a bar's for.
A guy who is a recovering alcoholic who goes to AA meetings like 10 times a day, going to bars. Like you're the man, dude. Like the fact that you can do that, it's like a guy that quit smoking, just hanging out in just clam bacon in a room full of smokers. You know, like.
Always ask yourself two questions: how important is it, and what are your motives? My motives are good, but it ain't that freaking important. But I thought I'd try.
There you go.
Fucking Foster, we all know.
Man, that's it. That's it.
Fucking Foster.
Man.
You got nobody's watching the preseason football action tonight? Nobody's got it on the side?
Recording it.
So he's recording it. Okay, my man.
Yeah, we're hanging out here having fun, man. Who cares about that? It's not
I still got it on my TV right here. Okay?
We got Glynn,
turn it down, though.
we got Nick, and we got Swifty. We're the best show in town right now, bro.
You're right.
You can't lose here, man. You can't lose.
You can't get better than that.
Let me ask Swifty a question right quick.
Yeah.
Next year, the Bears have 2 first-round picks, but what would you rather see them take first? Wide receiver or edge rusher or some other position?
Right now, obviously, edge rusher. I mean, the rare circumstance there that I think is a lot more unlikely than most people will consider is if we somehow get a top 3 pick, and it has to be top 3 because that's where Marvin Harrison's going.
Right.
There's going to be 2 quarterbacks and Marvin Harrison, however the picks wind up. But if we're in a position to take him, like you almost have to. Like
that's why I asked, because Claypool and Mooney are both. This is their contract year. I don't think we're keeping both of them. We'd keep one of them. And if it's Mooney, I think we still need. Mooney's more of a slot in my mind. I know he can play, on the outside, but someone like you just mentioned, Marvin Harrison, or even his teammate, and Mecca.
I don't know how to say his name yet, but
Mecca Ibuka.
Yeah.
If he's available, and I think he'll be in that range. But I was just wondering if you would rather have that edge rusher first or that wide receiver.
It's Marvin Harrison and then edge rusher and then a gap and then a different wide receiver, which there's a few other guys who could be there, obviously, wide receiver. But edge rusher, I mean, Jared Verse, all kinds of guys up there in that first round, even guys that aren't talked about a lot who could have breakout years like Jack Sawyer at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even Tui on the other side. There's edge rushers everywhere.
It's a lot. Braylon Trice out of Washington.
Oh, I love Braylon Trice. Yeah, he's fun to watch on tape. I can't wait to see what he does this year. So I think we're going to be in that position. One of those picks should be an edge rusher, even if we re-sign Ngakoue. For some reason, if he has success this year and we extend him, we still need another edge rusher on this team.
Agree.
Someone that's young that can come in, because the other guy's DeMarcus Walker, another free agent. We have to build from within. That's what Poles likes to do. He hasn't drafted an edge rusher yet except Domrob in the 5th round. So he's going to attack that next year. I think he really wanted to this year. You see guys like, you'll see it when you put on the Patriots tape tonight. Keon White.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, man.
He looked insane. He was everywhere tonight, but those guys didn't fall to us, so we didn't get it. But next year, he has 2 first-round picks, so he's going to have his choice of getting a really good edge rusher,
So
look what happens when you come on, Swifty. You get Glynn Morgan, like, can I ask Swifty a question?
Why not, man?
That was good, man. I love good football talk, man. That was a great question, too. I mean, fans love that. Everyone will always want all the Marvin Harrison talk. Like, everybody talks about that all the time.
So you guys don't think the Bears would be going with offensive line at all in the first round or second round?
No, I think at some point, but
I
maybe
think
probably the first round.
Poles is pretty good at taking linemen. No, I mean, I'm just putting that out there. Poles has proven he's very good at taking offensive linemen and drafting them no matter what round he's got.
Right.
So I think he can go off on that. And linemen are so much easier to pick up, especially with how stacked the last couple drafts have been. I mean, that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. And the more the need is edge and long-term edge, you can pick up a lineman at any time, any place.
The only wide receiver, edge rusher, even offensive line, the only other position that I could see, and it's just because he'd have to be there, and we'd have maybe that pick, maybe 6th, 7th pick overall, and it's like he's just too good to pass, would be Brock Bowers out of Georgia. If that tight end is available, he is a generational type kind of tight end. It'd be hard to pass on, especially if I have 2 first-round picks. If he's like pick 6 or 7, and that's our first pick, and I could put him in, and I know Komet signed for a little bit longer, but because Tunyon is just a stopgap guy, but if Brock Bowers, holy shit, dude, I'd be like, you know what, do it. I know he's a tight end, but do it, because he's a different kind of cat, man. I think he's even better. I think he's more of an overall tight end. I think that Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida. Kyle's more that move tight end. I think Bowers can do it all.
He's been insane. If he could enter the draft this year, he would have been a first-round pick.
He'd been a first-round pick, yeah. He probably would have been the guy that the Lions took instead of Laporte, or instead of taking Jack Campbell.
Glenn, I mean, Poles could be in Poles' ear right now because he signed Tunyon and Lewis to 1-year contracts, and so Komet's going to need somebody next to him next year. And you have two first-round picks. You combine them to move up to get that type of talent. Let's say Yannick works out. I've just imagined that there would be no excuses for Justin Fields to not have a field day every single day.
You may not have to combine it for. The Carolina pick might be that pick.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. So
that's why we want the Panthers to lose every game, guys.
Right.
Every game.
But here's the thing, though. We have to lose to the Falcons and the Buccaneers, because if we've beaten them, we're helping the Panthers. It's such a tangled web we weave here. It's
they just gotta lose the division by 1 game. We can still beat the Saints and all that. What we need is Derek Carr to have a good season,
right?
And just win that division, so we don't have to worry about it. But the only way I see us going O-line next year is, you could take a guard or a center late first round if someone is really, really high up on your board there, but it's rare. And the only way we take a tackle is if Braxton Jones is a disaster this year. So other than that, the O-line would be addressed in the 2nd or 3rd round, not the 1st.
I just want to address this super chat from Steve Phillips. I'm ultra excited for this season. The chats we'll have on this super innovative show. You guys rock. Go Bears.
Steve?
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, man.
I'm going to have to split that 5 ways.
No, I'm going to give that money.
$2
I paid him that $10. I'll give it back to him.
I'm watching.
I never get a cut, and I got to pay you somehow for this.
Well, Parker and PJ pay into this, but everyone else will have to pay you guys out of that. So thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you owe me money now up there, Foster. Bring it to Indy.
Foster needs it so he can get new coverage because Comcast isn't cutting it anymore.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys.
He's going to be in Indy next week, giving us some good content.
Oh yes, that's going to be amazing.
Colts Bears practice.
Bears,
it's going to be good.
Yeah, next week we'll have Foster will be at training camp with Swifties, so they're going to do something special for that show with us. And then we also have Alex Shapiro has agreed to join us next week. You know him well, Glenn, so we're excited about him coming on with us next week too.
His fantasy team stinks. No, I'm just sure. Probably my team this week.
Retro is paying $2 to say PJ will buy a can of gravy in a can. So I guess you have to play that because Retro made that for us. Go ahead, Walter. Play the gravy.
One, two, three, four, okay.
Dance work for that? That Retro made that for us. Retro he's one of our biggest supporters here in chat.
Yes.
He really is what drives this channel. So he made that for us. So we had to play that for you just to burn you.
Yeah, he loves me.
Yeah. Although, gravy in the can is just orange soda, so it's not like it's actually gravy. So
okay. Oh, you guys make orange soda sound nasty.
Saturday Night Live commercial, man. Serious. Gravy in a can.
Yeah, gravy in a can. Thank you, Red. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you, Red.
I wanted to ask you guys, the three of you guys, if the Panthers end up with the first pick in the draft and Justin Fields has virtually the same year statistically, do the Bears go in a different direction with quarterback?
No.
It's not my personal opinion. I don't want to get roasted over here. I'm just asking the question.
I don't think the focus should be so much statistically as is how did he play. Statistics are numbers to me, and they can be used to support something that you're doing or to kind of give some clarity to it, but I don't think it's the end all to be all. I don't think Justin is necessarily going to pass for 3,500 yards this year, but that doesn't mean that the Bears won't be successful or have a good season. So to me, it's more so how did he look? How were the game? How was he as a leader on the field? How did the team gel? Why did he only pass statistically for something similar? Were there other things that were going on that were problematic? I think Justin would have to be a very poor decision maker for the Bears to consider going in a different direction at quarterback. I look at Caleb Williams, and he's been very exciting to watch. Obviously, he's been very productive. But I look at that system that he quarterbacks in, and those guys are schemed open a lot of times, those receivers. I see him throwing off platform when he doesn't have to a lot, and he gets away with it in college. I don't think he's going to get away with that in the pros. Those windows are going to be a lot tighter. I'm curious to see what he does this year. This will be his third year in the system, his second year starting for a full season. People will make adjustments to him. So if he can make significant adjustments, stay in that, I don't want to say necessarily stay in the pocket, but pass better with his feet under him more and be more consistent and show those passes that are NFL type caliber passes, then maybe that might give you cause a pause, but I don't think you do that. I don't see any of those quarterbacks coming out being necessarily better than Justin.
Man,
I just don't.
You nailed that so perfectly, man. I actually haven't heard someone with a take that good on Caleb Williams yet. It seems like people are just too quick to want to throw out that he's a generational talent. He's the next big thing. He's better than Andrew Luck. And like you said, this is going to be the year where he needs to prove that. Defenses are learning. He has had a lot of off-script throws, and his mechanics aren't exactly elite yet. He needs to work on that. There's a lot of things he needs to work on before I would even consider that. But the biggest point about Justin Fields is no matter what happens this season, as a prospect and what he's been through so far, I feel like he would have to just absolutely just take a Mitch Trubisky-like step backwards where he's throwing into triple coverage all the time. He's got the deer in the headlights looks. I don't see anything like that happening. I got to knock on wood because I'm superstitious, but
right, yeah, I'll do it for you.
I don't see any way that if I was GM or what Ryan Poles is at, that Justin Fields could put himself in a position where you want to take another quarterback next year. Right. The problem is quarterback prospects this talented don't come along very often. So you're hurting yourself if you give up, if you don't give him, I'm stumbled on my words, if you don't give him every opportunity to succeed. If you give up on him early and he leaves via free agency because you drafted someone else or you trade him under market for a second or third round pick and he goes and becomes a Pro Bowler somewhere else, you're going to look like an idiot. And then you're starting over with a rookie quarterback. You have to teach them, because Luke Getsy's system, it's not one a rookie comes in and picks up. It's very dependent on footwork, timing, and the windows with your receivers, understanding the offense. You're not going to get a rookie to come in and do that better than Justin Fields. So if we draft a rookie, we're taking a step back next year, even if it's Drake May or
2
Caleb
years.
Williams. Yeah. So
No.
I don't know necessarily if that's what Ryan Poles would want to do. To me, I'd say 0% chance. But, there's always that. If we get the
Who
number
knows?
1 pick, you never know. I mean,
Trade down.
where's the Bears pick at in that scenario? Like,
Right.
are we
7,
picking
8, 21,
third? Do we have
32?
picks 1 and 3? Like, if he's that bad, if things
Well,
go that wrong,
Yeah, I would. Yeah, unless the Bears have 2 top 10 picks, But I would imagine the Bears pick next year, the second pick, that is, the Bears pick somewhere between 18 and 24, safely, and the first round pick, I'm hoping somewhere top 7. I'm hoping it could be top 10. But Carolina, they were up to the playoff window opportunities last year with a team that didn't have Christian McCaffrey and had let a couple other players go as well. So who knows what they may be this year. But that being said, if the Panthers are the number 1 pick and the Bears have it, trade down.
that's a haul. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Haul.
the haul he picked up this year, if you could, that's the thing. Justin Fields has the 5th-year option. Next year would be year 4. So the smartest thing to do in that situation would be kick it down the road one more time, trade that first-round pick for a haul to set yourself up. You already have a second-round pick in 2025 from the Panthers, so you'd already have that. You trade down from number 1 again, get as much as you can for the next year. And then if Justin Fields is bad again in 2024, Poles takes his guy in 2025. But let's not even put that in that. Dan, let's not put that in that.
Yes.
Let's not
Let's
speak
not.
it
Okay,
into existence.
I'm just
Like,
pontificating. I like to pontificate.
Justin's the most talented QB prospect we've had in my lifetime. Let's give him every chance to succeed in Chicago, and let's get behind this guy because he deserves it. I mean,
I'm
Thousand
probably,
percent.
I'm probably twice your age in my lifetime too. So.
yeah, see, there.
So where do you guys
No.
predict or think Verse will go? I mean,
Say it
first
again.
round, but around what pick?
Jared Verse, you said?
Jared Verse from Florida
Top
State.
10.
It's edge rusher is such a tricky thing. I mean, you think about Walker for the Jacksonville. He wasn't even a first round consideration until like the end of the season, and then he bounced all the way up to number 1 pick overall, Javon Walker. So I could say right now, Verse, sure, top 10, and then just like I said with Miles Murphy, he ended up being late first round.
Yeah.
I like Verse, and again, edge rushers, quarterbacks, and receivers, when they're in college, you need to see 2 seasons, in my opinion, because you need to see how people adjust to you. Take, for example, Smith and Jigba. He had a breakout season. Now, granted, he had the soft tissue injury. He didn't play. But if he had played, he may not have looked as good. I think he still got drafted off of what he had done the year before. Sometimes the receiver, you look at the Blitnikoff Award winner, Jordan Addison, who won it the year before last. Jalen Hyatt won it last year from Tennessee. Jordan Addison won it at Pitt. Now he goes to USC. It's a different quarterback, different system. But again, that's a quarterback receiver friendly system that Lincoln Riley incorporates or utilizes out there in USC. And Jordan didn't have as good a year. So sometimes people adjust to you, and you have to see what they're going to do. So that being said, Jared Verse, he had a really good year last year. We'll see what happens when teams make that adjustment to him. If he's double teamed, can he get off of a double team? Is he only good on one side as opposed to the other side? How good is he when it comes to stunning? How good is he against the run? These are other things that he's going to be challenged with to be a top 10 type kind of caliber pick. So answer your question, PJ. Right now, I would say I got him somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay.
But I can see him falling a little bit further, and other guys making a rise up.
Yeah,
Could you see him rising?
I don't see him going beyond 6.
Okay.
I really don't, because as Shorty mentioned earlier, you got quarterbacks that are going to be a top 2 pick. You got Marvin Harrison is not going to fall below 3. If he goes to 4, I'm shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this is everyone being healthy,
Right.
all things being equal. And then there's some
Edge
other
rushers
talents.
always move up, though. I mean,
They do.
you're going to have the QBs, but the team that doesn't take a QB or Marvin Harrison, someone in the top 5 is probably going to go edge rusher. Not saying it's Jared Verse, but
Maybe.
there's so much time here between now and the draft. Yeah.
Keep in mind, all the edge rushers that got drafted this year, just like when you have a manager for a team or a coach for a team who's one kind of personality, the next one's a different kind of personality. You find something to complement that. All the edge rushers that came out means that people are going to need offensive tackles to block those guys. And you got a few offensive tackles coming out that may be number one picks. You got the guy Olu Fasanu. I'm not sure his last name.
From Penn State, yeah.
Right, from Penn State, exactly. But Olu coming out. You got Joe Alt coming out from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yep.
Yeah. So you got some guys who are offensive tackles who may push ahead because of the need, as opposed to necessarily they may not be a better player, but the team that's drafting needs that tackle right then, and they don't want to wait because those two tackles may not be available by the second round. See what I'm saying? So edge rushers could go up, and then the other edge rushers may have better years. Or Braylon Trice, we both like him.
Dallas Turner. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there.
Turner, yeah.
And not only what Glenn said is a great point about what they do this season and what they prove on the field, but then you have after that the whole off-season process where GMs get in their head and overanalyze arm length and 40 times and all this stuff, or off-season things happen like Jalen Carter, where after the bowl games ended, everyone's like Jalen Carter goes 1, 2, or 3, and that's it, and then he falls to the 9th pick of the draft, which we thought didn't have much of a chance of happening until his off-field stuff. But things like that always happen. But there are a lot of talented edge rushers next year, so with one of those 2 first-round picks, I think Poles is going to be pretty dead set on taking an edge, and then wherever else he goes is going to be anyone's guess.
And to piggyback on what Shorty's saying, it's not just so much the players. Keep in mind, so many trades happen now that didn't used to happen before. So you may see a situation where a team where they're slotted, they've got the 4th pick overall. Next thing you know, the fucking Chiefs zoom up, and give the or somebody, maybe not the Chiefs, but maybe a team that's a playoff caliber team sees their opportunity, and they need a 3-4 edge rusher, not necessarily a 4-3 edge rusher. So Jared Verse, to me, I think he's more of a DN as opposed to like the 3-4 edge rusher type. So someone needs a 3-4, maybe Chop Robinson becomes that guy, that they like. Chop. They like him. Penn State, watch out, man. Yeah, watch out for Penn State this year. By the way, I know I just went tangential with college football, but Penn State is a dark horse to win the Big Ten. I know everyone's Ohio State, Michigan. Penn State is loaded, especially on defense. But anyway, point being, it all depends on what teams move and maneuver during the offseason as well. That may completely change the dynamic of what we all thought, because everything was set based upon these players at this position for this team, but this team was a different system. So now they need a player that fits that system. So now Dallas Turner becomes the guy as opposed to Jared Verse.
And with those quarterbacks up there, and with the teams who could be picking first, I mean, your teams could be bad, could be a team that picked a quarterback this year, like the Texans, or a team like the Cardinals, who they can't really move on from Kyler Murray. He's not going to play this year. They got 2 firsts next year. They can end up taking. If they got 2 in the top 5 and don't take a quarterback with either one, that could shake things up or cause for another team to come up and get a quarterback. A lot of moving pieces heading into next year's draft. Yeah. With us with 2 first-round picks too, maybe Poles wants to move up. I mean, you never know. It's going to be crazy though.
Yeah.
What if Yannick has 18 sacks this year?
Then that means he's going to be a mercenary and go to a different team.
He's getting paid next year. Yeah, he's probably getting paid next year.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Right. Guarantee you, he's on a Super Bowl caliber team that's going to pay him, that has enough space or whatever.
So not the Bears.
18, he's probably playing himself out of a extension. If he gets 9 or 10, Poles might extend him for a year or 2. I mean, 18 though, no, he's going to want a bag, and no.
Yep. He's going to want a bag.
That's true. Yeah. Then we're going to the draft, right?
Yeah.
To find our next defensive end.
Let's get to some of these questions in the chat there.
Leo Factor says
Leo. Oh.
Bryce Young is looking sharp in training camp, according to Panthers reports. I see Bears and Panthers with a similar record. Ooh.
I don't.
You're getting pulled, Leo.
That's a rookie quarterback. I mean, rookie quarterbacks just don't win a lot.
Good in training camp.
I don't think Bryce plays 17 games.
That's another huge worry there. And then, but even if he does, though, I mean, he's gonna have his struggles. You saw C.J. Stroud. If you guys haven't seen it yet tonight, but he comes out and he struggles. He's looked really good in camp too, but then the first time you see a Bill Belichick defense live, like throwing a pick instantly, like that, it happens. He's gonna struggle, and then the team around him. I mean, his weapons. They got some guys. I like Jonathan Mingo. Adam Thielen's okay. DJ Chark, but I mean, those are your three guys. Those weapons aren't going to rival anything in the top 10 to 15 teams in the NFL. So he's not scaring. You're not scaring people with that offensive cast. Miles Sanders and Hayden Hurst, your running back and tight end, like they're guys that are okay, but they're not. Who's the superstar in that offense that's going to carry him? Because that's what, when young quarterbacks come into the league, that's what they need to take that step. Is you see it in any quarterback that comes in, whether it's Joe Burrow. He struggled mightily his rookie season. It wasn't until he got Jamar Chase that he took off. Justin Herbert, really good as a rookie, but he had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I mean, you don't see it too often unless there's someone on the offense that can carry him, and I don't see anyone in Carolina doing that for Bryce.
Yeah, even their running game. And Miles is a nice running back.
Yeah,
and I like Chuba Hubbard as well. So they've got depth there. I think they're like you said, they're a nice team. There's nothing there that's scaring anybody, but there's respectable talent. I'll put it this way: Bryce starting out was way better than what Justin had.
Yeah, I mean, if they were in any other division in the NFL other than the one they were in, though, I would say they almost have no chance to win the division. The reason. Yeah, their division is so bad that's what's scary. You're like, wow, even if they only win 7 games, it could still be in the hunt for that division if something happens and the Saints aren't as good as people think. The Falcons are
really interesting.
They're the ones I'm hoping the Falcons are my sleeper team this year. I like
too.
Arthur Smith. Bijan is obviously a killer. They have a young defense that has some talent. They have some weapons with Kyle Pitts and Drake London on that offense. So Desmond Ritter's a worry, though. I mean, I watched him in Cincinnati a lot, and he relied on his legs in clutch situations too much for me. Even when he had Alec Pierce and who's the tight end, Josh Wiley, and then Tyler Scott, they had a lot of weapons, and he didn't use them enough, in my opinion.
After the Falcons lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots, they lost that 25-point lead. Because I currently live in Atlanta now, Glenn, and that was when the new stadium was opening the next year. So I thought, okay, this team is good enough; they can go back to the Super Bowl. I got PSL, seats for $500 a piece. I thought my tickets are only a little bit over $1,000 a year for 2 seats. It's not bad at all. I go to a game, I can get, I'm not kidding, a beer. I did this: a beer, a bottle of water, a cheeseburger, and a chicken finger basket for $13.
Oh wow, that's a deal.
They have not raised my season ticket prices on me at all. I still can't sell the damn tickets because I don't go to any of the games. I figure if the Bears come in, if the Falcons can make the playoffs and the Bears come here, I got a built-in game there. If they come here and they play, I got a built-in game there. I try to sell the rest. Nobody wants to buy them. It's ridiculous.
I think Dan just outed himself as a Falcons fan, guys.
There you go.
I don't know what happened here, but Dan's a season ticket Falcons fan that's been trying to get out of it and get on this Bears bandwagon.
Oh my goodness!
I was thinking it was a great.
PJ, thank you.
He's out. Thank you, PJ.
Out of there,
Shorty.
I couldn't do it, man. I wanted him gone.
Yeah. The Falcons fan running the show now. I don't
oh
know.
My goodness!
I take back all support.
I thought it'd be a good investment. I could sell if Beyonce comes here. I get first price at the tickets. I can sell them for more, whatever.
It's looking ahead.
Dan, don't believe everything you think. How many times we got to go through this?
That's it. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Whew, man.
No, but seriously, guys, I can't sell the tickets. Nobody wants to buy them.
You got to wait till they get a quarterback. Look, what you got to hope for is the Falcons are really bad and they end up taking a quarterback because that's when the season ticket sales spike up.
Yeah.
Panthers,
but
Colts,
Bulldogs fans down here.
They
They
got
don't care
season
about
tickets sold this year.
Or we can wait for Carolina to be really bad. We get that first pick, trade it to the Falcons, and they can have it. Then we can get a haul in return.
Nice. I like that thinking, PJ.
Hey, you know,
That's that Madden thinking right there. That's that Madden playing. You may not play PJ, but that's that Madden mentality right there.
I'm not lying, Glenn. I don't play. I was surprised when you said you played. I'm like, what? He plays Madden? Oh man,
I want to play you so bad now, Glenn. I'll send you my. I can't wait to
new
play.
Madden, 5 days, guys.
Yeah. What system do you guys have? I'm on
PS5.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm on PS4. You're on 5?
I'm on 5. Yeah.
Damn it! I got
Me
to
and
get
Glenn
one
are
of those
cool.
NBC
Me and
reporter
Glenn
jobs.
could play. You can't play, Shorty. I'm sorry. Actually, this year for the first time that they have cross-platform.
Oh yeah. So
I don't know if PS5 could play PS4 though. That's like backwards generation.
Right,
I know on PS5 I can play someone on Xbox Series X or PC. Not sure about the we'll have to figure that out.
Hey,
Dan, quit being cheap and just get a Series S or something for like $200.
I have
Being
Atari.
cheap. I just.
Atari. Did you just say Atari?
Yeah.
Stop yourself.
Atari.
At least
Still
it's
got
even working.
Nintendo, dude.
You have pieces for it. You have the right pieces for it. It breaks down for it to work.
No, it's been in his garage for 30 years. Like he just like it's out there.
Hey, I have it. Yeah, I didn't say I play it, but I have it.
Oh my god.
This guy can barely work a computer. You should have seen us before the show.
There you
He's
go.
like, wait, how do I? What is YouTube?
Why
How
do
do
we
I
have
log
two
on?
Fosters?
He's just showing off.
Oh,
As if one Foster isn't bad enough.
Yeah, one Foster's enough. We can't handle two.
One Foster's too many, dude. That's what you told me last week.
Not only do I play PJ, I'm also like in a league at my job. And
Really?
Wow.
it gets super intense. Yeah, we do at least several seasons. So it's
You guys do like a
franchise.
franchise on there?
Yeah, we do a
That's
franchise.
pretty cool. Okay.
We
How
do
many
a
guys
fantasy-
do you have in it?
No less than 6, but we generally try to have around 8. So we have
Okay.
two divisions, one in
fun.
each conference. So
A lot of interwork smack talk going on. Yeah.
Oh my
those are always
god!
fun. Yeah.
For years we've been doing this. So yeah, it's.
At the water cooler talking, hey, what I do to you last night? You know what?
Oh no, we're so bad. Guys will win a Super Bowl. They'll Xerox like a copy of a championship thing, and then they'll post it by their cubicle, or they went to the supervisor's desk and put it like they taped it on his window so he'll see it every day. I mean, it gets pretty intense. Man.
nice.
Oh man, that's great.
It gets pretty intense.
That's
What
good.
other
We should
questions
mention,
we
by the
got,
way,
Jeff?
that Nick had to bow out of the show a while ago, just so you guys know. That's why Nick left.
Yeah,
No
he
doubt.
left. Well, I saw him type it over there, and then he just kind of
Yeah.
disappeared. So I figured he was gone.
He was
yeah.
like,
ColecoVision.
he was like, when you got to go, man.
he wanted to leave. I'm like, no, stick around. I have a surprise for you. Then I brought you on. Now you got stuck with Glenn. I'm sorry.
Bro,
Sorry,
talking to
man.
Glenn has been awesome. Glenn, awesome to talk to you, man. If you ever want to come on the show or talk to me sometime, man, just hit me up. Like,
Well, most definitely, man. We'll
very
definitely do that.
knowledgeable football guy right there.
Thank you.
Honestly,
Thank
Glenn,
you.
seriously, you are love listening to your. It's like you guys are mirroring each other
Yes.
with your knowledge of football.
Hey, like I said,
You gotta get Swifty a job.
I'm trying to keep one myself.
Yeah.
Like, no, I got my own good thing going over here. I don't need a job.
Yeah.
No, shit. I'm keep like, hey, you guys want me to do this stuff, right? No, right? Crickets.
Right,
please.
I'm trying. But no, I've listened and watched some Cersei stuff over, especially like just around the pandemic is when I started, catching different people's stuff. And over the past couple of years, every now and again I'll chime in, and I really love his breakdowns. I think he does. But he does a fantastic job. And it's just so cool to like somebody takes it seriously, and it's not just on there, just giving out stats. He always gives reasons why. I think early on when you guys first had me on, I said, like, for me, it's important not so much to be right or wrong, but here are the reasons why, I think, and here's what I want to share with you so you can kind of see what I'm seeing, and then we'll go from there. And I get that vibe. I'm just now meeting you, obviously, but I've always gotten that vibe from your work. And that's why I go back to it from time to time and just check it out. I'm like, yeah, I wonder what he has to say about this guy. I'm like, yep, okay, I've seen the same thing. Or I'm like, man, I wouldn't even think about that. So that's always cool, man. It's like education.
That's all right. Swifty's out of here. All right, now it's talk about us now a little bit more, Glenn.
But I tell my daughters, I've got 4 daughters, and I've told each and every one of them, like, hey, if you're not learning something every day, you're just not paying attention. So you can learn something new every day, no matter who or whatever you think you thought you knew, somebody may have a different way of looking at it that can help elucidate what, an aspect that you weren't even thinking about, and that's the beauty of to me of sharing and having this kind of form here that BCP affords everybody, because BCP does, but seriously, it's a cool thing, and we're all sharing, and that's a great thing. Like, Nick earlier said, hey, I just want to put it out there, I don't have beef with Swifty. Like, why does that have to be the thing? Why can't we just do like we're doing right here, share, and get along and enjoy it, and go from there. That to me, that's much more fulfilling and much more fun, and a lot less.
And Swifty has been such a great guy with this too, like helping me out as a friend. He's become a friend of BCP.
Absolutely.
Just a great guy. You too, Glenn. You are a great guy.
Yes.
Like, you two coming on the show tonight, it's just it really just my heart is really warmed right now seeing you guys here hanging out with us. This is amazing. You're going over you're over 2 hours, Glenn. I was hoping for a half an hour. That means you're, like I said in the email, if you're having fun, hang out with us, because we like to have fun on this show, and that's what we're doing. I love it.
Well, I just want to say one thing real quick.
Oh, no, that's going to be a 27-part thing.
No. This is going to
just cut him off now before it's like another 3 hours.
PJ's usually got a question with 37 subparts. Because
I got one more question, and then
we got two more questions for you.
Y'all appreciate this.
38.5 minutes.
Y'all will appreciate it. Now,
Perfect.
Glenn said he has 4 kids, right? 4 daughters. 4 beautiful daughters. A blizzard is coming, Glenn.
No, I'm not doing that to my wife any longer. and we're past that point, and she wouldn't even know. I'd lose members and body parts. So yeah, no.
We are due for one though.
After the last child, I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm not doing that." So no, we're good. I got a grandson. I'm good.
There you go.
Let the other kids do. Let my older children do the thing and keep it going. I did my part in that regard.
There you go.
I love it.
Grandchildren get to go home too. I know that.
Yes, they do.
They do.
He was here earlier, as a matter of fact, and I watched him go. Cool. Lovely job.
Was that your doorbell? Your doorbell ringing like 18 times during the show, like ding dong.
Yeah, you heard that.
Door.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
Ding dong.
My youngest came in, and then my oldest was leaving out. So yeah.
Oh, good. So good. I could tell because my buddy has the same security system, where it's like back door.
Right, back door.
And well,
yeah, I got that one too. That's why
I won't say the first thing that came to my mind when I walked in the door, but every time I started going in this back door, I would change it to "I'm a back door man" from the Doors. Just to
knew that was coming.
Okay. Was I the only one who caught that?
Yes, I moved on quickly.
I'm married. Oh, man. This is a public forum.
Dan says a couple questionable things every show. Like, you catch him slipping every show, and it's like, Dan, you can't just say stuff like this on a day-to-day basis, do you? And then he has like 2 shows a week, and he says like 5 things, and it's like, maybe he does. Like,
they add up a little bit.
It's a good thing we're not on every day.
Yeah, no kidding.
My best friend told me once, he says the internet never loses. So what you say stays out there. So
okay.
It does. Internet's undefeated, man.
That's
true. Yep.
That's true. It's definitely undefeated.
Ooh-wee.
I am gonna hop off here though. I got some stuff to do. I do want to say though, Glenn, awesome talking to you, man. For real, a lot of the people out there in the national media, I sometimes do take shots at the national media. And it's guys like you that I am not taking the shots at, because guys like you at NBC that actually know what you're talking about and understand the prospects and watch tape and understand what's going on in the NFL. It's a pleasure to hear you talk when you're on TV, when you get your shot. But, man, you're an awesome guy, man. It was great to hear you talk. And you can tell just from this time meeting you and talking to you here, like, I can tell you're extremely knowledgeable and you know what you're talking about. And that's something I can always pick up on pretty quickly most time.
It means a lot. It does. And and any and everyone saying that, it definitely is a lot coming from you. So thank you.
Yep.
And I appreciate it.
Make sure before you
More
get
than
out
you
here,
realize.
make these guys shout out all your socials and everything multiple times. Because, yeah, chat, you guys need to follow this guy because NFL draft is huge. He knows college players. I'm going to be getting more into college football this year. I feel like I slacked a little bit last year because I was covering the Bears so much, but always loved the game of college football, and it's always fun to watch these guys grow up into NFL prospects and watch them throughout their careers. So, man, awesome. PJ, Foster, Shorty, I love you guys, man. Good luck with the show. Shorty, I'll see you in Indy.
Before you leave, I need one thing from you each,
Okay.
you and Glenn. Walter, keep the chat off because I want to use this to add to the opening. So Swifty, can I get used to say, "You down with BCP"?
Nah, you can't get that.
Come on.
See, I thought you were supposed to say that, and I'm supposed to say,
No,
yeah,
I
you
want
know
to add
me.
you to the opener. I want to add you to,
Okay,
to the
okay.
opener.
All right.
So just give us your best. You down with BCP? Come on.
All right.
2, 3, 4.
You down with BCP?
All right. You can leave now.
All right, I'm out. Peace.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, Swifty. I mean, yes. Well,
Hold on a second now. I'm not done. I need Glenn to say too. Glenn, can you give me your best? You down with BCP?
You down with BCP?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
You are in the collage now, Glenn. Are you
My
down
friend.
with BCP?
Do you mind if
I'm definitely down with BCP.
Oh,
right.
that's even better. So
There you
so
go.
I can use you in that for the opener to add you to it?
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I have the slings and arrow of misfortune have always come, so I'm okay with it. It's all good, man.
hey,
It's all
do
good.
you want to shout out your social media things there, Glenn?
Oh,
yeah, how you doing?
yeah, you can. I'm still rebuilding this because that other one was just craptacular. So I'm on Twitter, which I guess is X now. So you can catch me real Glynn Morgan at True Glynn Morgan, and you can always catch me. Just go on YouTube. You can type in my name GLY in Glynn Morgan, and you'll see me on Football Night in Chicago on NBC Sports from time to time. Their Under Center podcast, and I have my own podcast. Well, not just mine. I share it with two other guys, really good dudes, Ezra McCann and Brandon Williams. We're Easy, at the letters E and Z. So Easy, Smoke, and the GM. So Ezra is Easy, Brandon Smoke, and I play off my initials, Glynn Morgan, to be the GM. So Easy, Smoke, and the GM. During the summer, we only put out about one a month, but once football season rolls around, we're weekly.
If you would ever like any one of us to be your guests, we would love to.
Most definitely. Most
Yes,
definitely, man.
sure.
I've got the email stuff, and I'll get everyone's information via the email, and now I'll definitely be in touch, man. Would love to have you guys on. And we are our podcast. We're I can't talk about being retro because we're ours isn't visual; it's just straight audio. So we're straight like raw, But you know what? Just like you guys, we love to have fun. We love talking sports. Three guys from the South Side. Everything is primarily Chicago sports, minus the Cubs and minus the Blackhawks.
Oh, pull him, Walter. Pull him, Walter.
Hey, I'm right there with him, though. I'm right there with him.
It's funny because it's not because we don't like the Blackhawks. We just don't. We're not trying to kid ourselves that we know hockey as much as we feel we can opine on basketball, football, and baseball. Now, Brandon, my guy Smoke, he was all state when he was at Simeon High School. He went to Grambling State and was all conference there at a middle infielder, and he currently just recently became the head coach of a Simeon baseball program, but he also coaches in the White Sox youth system. So he's a life baseball player, lifetime baller. So he gives a different perspective, a really, a continuous perspective on sports, especially from the baseball end of things. Ezra played offensive lineman in college as well. He went to another HBCU grad. He went to Hampton. So again, another perspective there. And Ezra and I work together. He's producer, editor over at NBC. So we're bringing you guys. I'm not going to say a wealth, but we're bringing you a variety of layered sports, interactivity, and what have you, and just again, we keep it fun. We definitely express our opinions. We feel strongly about something. We don't, a flilf word will come out a time or two. So we let it out, but we do it respectfully. We do it tastefully, and we enjoy sports, and that's the kind of synergy. And every now and again, we try and have some of those guests on there too. So some of those big time guests, if we can swing one. So, but having you guys on,
What's in line for that one? Because we'll be your big time.
No doubt. Hey. So, but yeah, man, it's this platform, man, is so cool. It gives all of us an opportunity to really speak our minds. But
make friends from it that you would have never known that you would make friends from out of nowhere, just from a common love like this. And we consider you to be a friend. Seriously, you are. We cannot wait to have you on again. Like, you have been a lot of fun. Seriously,
I'm just saying. We finally got another brother on the show. That's all I'm saying.
Fish and spaghetti.
You know what I'm saying? Man, fish and spaghetti guy.
Let the last can't fool you. Still brother underneath. This is all, It's...
Okay, there you go. That's what I know. But hey, check out. You see that paneling behind Foster?
Yes.
Yeah, where the bodies are hidden. Yeah,
that's where the bodies are hidden, bro.
Ah, I didn't see that. I don't know which panel you're talking about. I didn't see a thing.
That's exactly what
you're not going to fool him.
Paneling. That's my John Wayne Gacy paneling, man.
I didn't hear that either.
It's about when it was put in, too.
Glenn, before you leave,
hey Glenn, you said you went to Marist?
Good. See, you tried.
Now you just insulted our guest.
I tried to hold it back, and I tried not to have the F come out, but I hate. And I don't hate anything, but I do hate Marist. That's the one thing I.
That's how I feel about the Packers. I hate to use the word hate, but when it comes to the Packers, I hate the Packers. I worked with a guy for 15 years through the Brett Favre in the beginning of the Aaron Rodgers era. I wanted to beat my head off my table every day.
I know. I feel it. Look, I almost vandalized Marist High School driving by it one time. That's how much I hate that school. I was ready
just with toilet paper and eggs, though.
No. I was going to take something and throw like a hard thing, like a brick or something through the window. I was going to piss along the wall. I hate that school. I went to Brother Rice. If you're wondering where the hate comes from, I went to Brother Rice, and they're like a mile apart from one another. And it's a big time rivalry, but it goes deeper than that. I just really
I'm glad I hate that school too. I went to Holy Cross, which is no longer around for decades. But
okay, yeah. So we can share in that hate. Thank you.
We've got that in common.
Yeah.
I like what Doug Van Dorn says here. Pull it up, Walter. Oh fuck that shit. You can say fuck.
Okay. All right, Doug. Appreciate you.
I'm sorry, Walter. You actually were the first one to slip up and say the F word, though.
He said Marist. I tried to hold it back, man. I just
no. It was earlier. It was like an hour ago. You didn't even know you did it, and I was proud of you. I had a moment of pride.
I was probably thinking of Marist at the time.
That would do it.
That would definitely do it.
That would do it,
man.
Then I always hated St. Patrick's, man. St. Pat's.
I didn't come across them too often, but I feel you. Mount Carmel.
Yeah, Mount Carmel.
I went to Brown Lake High School. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, isn't that where
stay up there?
Mount Carmel, isn't that where old boy's coaching at now?
Lynch,
former fullback.
Lynch, I think Jordan Lynch, isn't he? Former.
No, I thought it was
really.
Jordan Lynch isn't there anymore. I thought he was still coaching there. I don't know who's coaching at Marist now. I know he was coaching there at one point. The guy that went to Northern Illinois as quarterback and was in the Heisman candidate to see for I think he was Heisman candidate for 2 years back to back. I think he's might be the most prolific quarterback in the history of college football. I have to go back and look. He has some crazy numbers, dude.
Okay.
Back to back years. And the Bears he was actually on the Bears. He was actually trying to make the Bears at one point as I think as free agent pickup at quarterback.
Jason McKee. That's what I was thinking. He doesn't coach there?
I do not know who's coaching there now.
He does?
So,
okay.
Yeah, Jason McKee is coaching Carmel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. That's what. Okay. All right.
I have one more question for you before we wrap up the show, Glenn. Is
talking about me?
What's your favorite food?
What's my favorite food?
Yeah.
To eat
or to make? What do you what? Let's go.
Throw
Both.
it, PJ.
What's your go-to like? I have to have this at least once a month. Kind of a. For me, it's an Italian beef. Let's put it that way. So just put it into perspective for your own thoughts. What's your one meal that you have to have? Like if it's fish and spaghetti, or if it's.
I would say that's that like favorite, but I don't always go to it because it's more of like. I don't know, not just seasonal, but it's something that you don't always necessarily.
It's like a home style meal, like a home meal.
No, not even that. No, that's just it. It's not that. It's more. I won't say that's not a delicacy, but it's a bit more closer to that than it's not. Oysters. I love oysters on a half shell. I love oysters fried. I love oysters.
So once a month you go to New Orleans for good oysters. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, if I could,
oysters in New Orleans.
Would. My wife and I, my family, we love going to New Orleans. Like I said, my wife,
they're amazing.
Family down there, and the oysters down there, man. But you know what? Some of the best oysters I've had are actually on the East Coast. I have my sister lives in Maryland, and I had some great oysters out there. It's the time of the year, that you go. But yeah, I love seafood as an overall kind of a thing, but oysters are kind of the thing. Just the other day, I was fiending for some, and I went to this place called Lawrence's, and I went and got some late night, and just because. But yeah, I love oysters. As far as what I like to make, like most, I'm assuming I'm gonna speak for all men, although I shouldn't. I'm probably better at breakfast food making than I am. Yeah. Grilling and breakfast food, I'm probably better at those things than I am.
Oh, you better be a good griller, because
most
wives don't grill, right?
You gotta be. But my thing, the thing I hang my hat on, because I don't have any hair, the thing I hang my hat on, my blueberry pancakes will make you slap your mom. Yep, just like that. And none of that, but after you eat them, you get the itis, and it's like, you get your nice good 20-30 minute power nap. My blueberry pancakes are they're the shiznit, yeah. And I don't normally do this about anything but those blueberry pancakes. So,
man,
so yeah,
really?
I feel strongly about those.
You know about the itis, Shorty?
No, but hold on a second before you expound on that. Take a picture of your next blueberry pancakes and email them to the show, and we'll next time we have you on, we'll show the pancakes that you
Not
make.
my face, just the pancakes. Yes, I get you.
Better yet, next time you make them, send them to me, because I eat blueberries almost every day.
Oh, I love blueberries. Yeah,
one way or the other, smoothie, pancakes, cereal, whatever. I eat them almost every single day.
Okay.
Itis is what you get, Shorty, after you eat a good meal. You get sleepy, so we call it sleeping itis. So you get the itis.
Shorty's just out of touch with a lot of things, it appears. So
it's like the tetra, whatever you get from eating turkey. What do they call it?
Not tendonitis. What is it? Tryptophan.
Tryptophan, yeah.
Tryptophan, yes.
Tryptophan.
So it's the tryptophan you get from eating.
Just
a big full meal full of deep fried catfish and pasta. Just gives you the nitis, right? Is that what you're saying?
There you go.
Yes.
Let's go with it, man. He'll keep going.
Retro says it best. Retro says it best. Oops, not that one. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, me neither, Glenn.
You have a producer now.
No
PJ,
combs, no brushes, no shampoo. It's great.
Food coma, yes.
Stop growing everywhere else, man. Out my ears, out my nose, out my back.
Right. Got to get that manscaping thing. Get the little $10 thing. Get the Don't want to grow you out.
Hey, Glenn, I want to personally thank you, man, for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I truly enjoyed it, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate you hanging out with us, loosening up your collar, as it were. So, man, thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Guys, it was a pleasure. The honor was all mine. Trust me. The fact that you even asked me, thank you. You definitely didn't have to, and I appreciate that you did, and I look forward to extending this partnership, friendship, this relationship.
Absolutely.
We'd like to have you back again, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to.
more than once. Once we get into like even more draft stuff, that would be even like seriously.
Hey, man.
You are
like I said,
you're done with BCP now. You said it yourself.
I did say it. I stand by. I stand by that as well.
Cool.
That's great to
If you're
know.
up on a Thursday before you're nibbling and you get some itis, just pop in the chat and say something. We'll throw you a link, man.
Okay. Yeah. More times than not, I'm in this. This is one of those anomalies that turns my work schedule. Yeah, but there are times where it may be like some downtime or something. I'll pop on, man. I'll definitely pop in, man, and throw a word or two, no doubt.
Especially if you're cooking something, man, then you could show it to them.
Yeah.
These guys are all food
you can
nuts
even
here,
just
man.
send us a picture of something. Just send us the blueberries one day you're making it. You don't even have to be on the show. We'll just pull it up. Be like, this is Glynn Morgan's blueberry pancakes that he was talking about, and you'll have props right there.
There you go. There you go.
Now come draft season, we'll be calling upon you.
Hey, man. Nothing to it, man. Nothing to it.
Cool.
Honestly, seriously, and much appreciate you. Like, seriously, Glenn, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you had as much fun as we did because, like I was telling you in the email, that's what this show is about. And so you're here for 2 hours and 40 minutes, man. That's you marathon with us. Appreciate that.
That's love, man. That's love.
I think that's a record.
Well, I guess that's either I need to get a life or I really enjoy being.
Well, we'll take the latter.
Enjoy being here. That's
no, I really enjoy being here. By all means, guys, I did. It was cool, man, and thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it. Humbled and honored. Thank you so much, and like I said, looking forward to going forward, man, and having much more fun. And I heard you guys saying Indianapolis. I'm assuming that's the combine you guys are talking about, that you'll be down there.
No, next week for our joint.
For next week. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the combine. So I was going to say, hey, I'm going to try and talk my way. I'm going to try and have my job, see if they can sponsor me down there. I was trying to get to the combine. But hey, at some point in time, my brother, I have, like I said, I have 4 siblings. One of my siblings, he lives in Indianapolis. So you never know. I might bump into you guys. If not sooner, maybe later.
Oh, that'd be cool if you did.
I want to thank you for being on and your candor and your knowledge. It's some of the best conversation we've ever had on the show tonight in the history of the show, believe it or not.
I do find it hard to believe because you guys do such a good job of, you're so ingratiating and you bring everybody in, and that's, I said before, that's important. There's so many people out there. It's everyone's closing down other people, or what's the word they say? They're channeling people off, or whatever it is, canceling people. That's what it is.
Yes.
Everybody's canceling one another for whatever goofy reason, and you guys are the opposite of that. You're ingratiating, you're incorporating. You had Nick on, you brought in Shorty. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. And so that kind of stuff, it extends itself forward, and the people here who've been on the chat have been saying wonderful things and being involved. That, to me, that's what it's all about. So again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. And the vibe you guys send out there is something that we all be better off if everyone else is more like you guys. Most definitely.
We truly appreciate
Thank
that.
you for the compliment, man.
We try to build this show on incorporating chat, our guests, to where it's like a bunch of friends just hanging out talking Bears football. And if we branch off into something else, so be it. But this is all love. Even when we rag on each other, it's coming from a love spot. It really is.
Yeah, it's always from fun. That's why you get pulled for saying shit.
Right. That's hilarious. I love that. So yeah.
Yeah, don't screw up next time. You get pulled again.
All right.
You got going off. I was like, I'm gonna pull him right now. Damn it! Oh, I'll let him go.
The way I look at it, if I didn't get pulled, I wasn't being a good guest. So.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, your ranking is high. Your ranking
Yes,
is high.
it is. You one of the crew.
You get who is it? Steve Phillips is laying in bed with a little buzz, and he wants to make some blueberry pancakes now because of you.
Hey man, more the merrier. Let's do it.
Right there. He's craving pancakes.
Glenn, thank you so much, man. We will be in touch. We'll have you on again as soon as you would like to come on. And a great show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap this up and talk shit a little bit about ourselves, and then we'll wrap this up. But we love you so much. Thank you for joining us. Seriously.
Hey,
Much respect, man.
back at you guys. Love you both.
Thanks, Glenn.
Peace. Have a great one.
You too. Bye bye.
You too, man. Stay safe out there.
No doubt.
Guys, that was awesome.
That
That was
was,
awesome.
man. It was. I missed a little bit when the internet went down. Now it's working. Everything's working, and they told me it wasn't going to be on for 24 hours.
Huh.
I
Ridiculous.
don't know.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys got all my questions in too. That was the other
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely. Yeah.
You did.
You're welcome.
You did.
Are you fucking with us or?
No, between you guys in the chat,
Oh, good.
you guys got my questions in. So I was like, cool. At least I got some answers, man.
Sorry, Walt. I didn't mean to pull that up. I got to get used to having a producer again. So you can
Want some
remove that.
blueberry pancakes too, don't you?
Yeah. Swifty's saying you want some blueberry pancakes too. Yeah.
I just want to know what Walter, as well as Cliff, what they fixed for tonight's dinner. That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I was just thinking IHOP myself, and Doug Van Dorn brought it up. There's one over in Des Plaines. I think I'm going, you son of a guns.
You know, I can't even order a pizza past 8:00 here. You guys, Foster, you can walk down the road and get Taco Burrito King. Like, I'm jealous of that.
I could crawl there on my lips if I had.
I couldn't even drive somewhere and get a burrito that good, much less walk.
No, you couldn't, not in that state.
No. So,
Well, thank you, Mark, for the compliment. Appreciate it. Brian, thank you. I thought it was a great show as well. The guests were just awesome.
yeah, Mark's saying, wow, that was incredible. Brian Gilmore saying, big time show, guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Seriously, we love you guys. Doug Van Dorn, you better say hi to me next time in chat. I'm going to be offended.
Too late.
Just tell him next time, just say, fuck you, Shorty. In
That's all I
chat.
have to do. Just say, fuck you, Shorty. I'd be like, okay.
That's right.
At least
That's
he
what
acknowledges
he's
not
used
here.
to. That's Swifty. That's what he's used to, man.
I feel like I should be ashamed. Like I don't want anybody to know that I'm a Bears Country Podcast fan. I'm a closet Bears Country Podcast fan. I can't say hi to Shorty. I'm just fucking with you, Doug.
Man.
I love you, man.
Okay, Cliff. Is Cliff still here? Because I want to know what he had for dinner tonight. And Walter, come on.
Probably sent me 5 pictures by now, but I missed him.
I just need to know.
I've got it listed as my residence on Twitter. It's Bears Country, Illinois. That's where I live.
Bears Country, Illinois.
It says it right on my Twitter page, man.
That's awesome. Bears Country, Illinois.
Bears Country, Illinois. That's where I reside.
Foster.
That's what I have to put in mind. Then
PJ's been all over the
Georgia.
world, even to Texas, and he still came back to Bears Country, Illinois.
Love it.
But this is true. This is
true.
This is true.
This is true.
Guys, can I do a shameless plug really quick? Walter, can you pull up the PSF
How about
overlay?
a shameful plug?
I need to do a shameful
man.
plug
Everybody
for
goes
PSF. I mean, starting this week, I signed a contract. It's official with PSF. So it's Pro Sports Fanatics. Go to the Apple Store. Go to your Android store. Download the PSF app and find the Bears fan chat section. There's also a Bears Country Podcast chat section. We're going to be doing the games live stream from our mobile devices. Me and somebody else. I might even know who it is right now. Let me check my email. I've been waiting to find out who I'm being paired with. It's like I'm on pins and needles. Could be a former player. It could be Lester Wiltfong, for all I know, because Lester is also a part of this, which is a very small world, being our last guest last week. And we went to the same high school. But please download the PSF app and check us out for the games, for the Bears games. There's going to be 2 teams, me and another team, and so we'll be alternating games. But the games that we're not alternating, we're going to try to still do those game streams on BCP as well. So stay tuned for that. So we've got some fun stuff coming up for BCP, and make sure you download that PSF app. Give that a chance, man. If you're a Reds fan, but you're a Bears fan, you can find your favorite. There's every team, every sport chat rooms. We'll be able to bring all you guys into the live stream of the Bears games on PSF, just like we do on this channel. They're actually kind of ironically trying to promote the same thing that we're doing here on BCP, which is to have you guys come in from chat. So this is just going to be like a live chat stream that anyone can just join. So very exciting. I'm excited, and it's a shameless plug for them because I'm not getting paid for this. But go ahead and check it out, guys. You can go ahead and pull it.
Absolutely, man. These guys are freaking hilarious tonight. PJ, what are we following up with? Identifying the bodies in my basement?
He said, "How do we
reading all this stuff, man?"
They said, "How do we?" They said, "How do we follow up a great show like this?" I was like, trying to identify the bodies in Foster's basement.
PJ, that will take weeks. Retro says that'll take weeks. No, it'll take months. Retro, months. You got the basement and the paneling, and it's 3 walls.
But no, seriously, Cliff and Walter, I really want to know what was on you guys' dinner tonight, man. Let us know, man. What's up?
Well, Leo was saying he had baby back ribs marinated in Korean barbecue sauce.
That's
Pretty
so
easy
good,
to
too.
make and tastes great.
Oh, Leo had that?
Leo
did you boil them ribs and then cover them in sauce, or did you marinate them first with the sauce? I'm just curious.
So,
no,
what
you silly men.
I'm just saying, what is Korean barbecue sauce, though? I don't know what that is.
Well, I sometimes boil them and then put them on the grill and then cover them in sauce.
I mean, Korean barbecue sauce.
Sometimes I'll throw them in the crock.
Barbecue sauce.
You've never what?
I've never made Korean barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I want to know what that is. Because, I mean, I lived in Korea for what?
Korean. It's Korean, PJ.
I was in Korea for 1.5 years there, Shorty.
So then you had Korean barbecue sauce.
They brought over some Sweet Baby Ray's.
Or they're bringing out Sweet Baby Ray's to you?
Yeah.
Where's it? Where's
I
the
got you, Pete.
Just pull me. I'm looking for something anyway. Just pull me.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, golly. I'm trying to tell him. I know what kimchi is over in Korea. I don't know what Korean barbecue sauce is. Oh, wow. He says it's in most stores.
There's recipes for it. You can make your own. You probably got most of the stuff. You only might have to get a few things. There's stuff on Google. You can find it if you want to look at it. I mean, I'm serious.
No, I'm looking at what Retro's saying. This dude, man.
Which one now? PJ ate KFC while in South Korea. Korean fried cat.
With a little spaghetti. Korean fried cat with spaghetti. How about that?
It's sweet and sour sauce in it, kind of stuff, and
it's like a sticky, sweet and spicy sauce.
There you go. He's got it.
Never had it.
You guys talk while I urinate and look for this picture. I have to find this picture while I urinate.
Yeah, that'll be fine, Dan.
And no, I have never had sticky ribs. Swifty.
Say that again, Pete. I'm sorry.
Swifty says, "Have I ever had sticky ribs?" I have never had sticky ribs.
Sticky ribs.
Yeah.
Like. Ooh.
Okay. Man, interesting. So no response from Cliff yet. No response from Walter. Yeah, Walter. I'm looking at you, buddy. Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Doug Van Dorn, no. Says, it's no problem, but it's been 5 years since I had a cigarette. Watching Foster smoke and gives me a little pang of desire for one.
Uh-oh.
It's easily ignored, but it's still there. That just tells me I got to stop smoking on the air even, dude. Because you don't want to go back to this crap.
Man.
It's the worst thing I've tried to quit in my life. I've quit everything else, man. Cigarettes has been the biggest battle for me in my life because I've been doing it too long.
I agree with you. I mean, Leo, I'm not opposed to trying it, but I just haven't tried it yet, so I might have to look into it. I just never tried it.
I think you will enjoy it. So,
like I said, I'm willing to try it. I am definitely willing to try it.
What's going on, Walter? Great
What's
job,
up, Walt?
dude. Great job. Great.
Great job there, Walt. You muted. You on mute.
Muted. Coming in like Tooch. Oh, he's not muted.
I still can't hear him.
Yeah, no, I can't hear him either, but it doesn't say that he's muted. It's because I said great job. Of course, it cut out right when I said that. He did. It was. I just, this internet stuff, I can't wait to get back to my own residence and do this. I've got Comcast there, but I don't have the problems that I've had in this house for some reason. It's just the location I'm in.
Those bodies are blocking the signal.
I think it's this, honestly, because I noticed this. At O'Hare, every time they change runways, like now, the last hour, they're not going over the house. But when I started, planes were going over every 10 seconds over this house. I had to close the door and stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it seemed like when they switched runways again and went back going north or south instead of east-west, because I'm straight east of O'Hare, the internet came back on. And I literally called Comcast, and they gave me a repair time of 9:35 p.m. Friday night. So I thought I was just done for.
I just want to make sure you got a good phone working and a good camcorder. Because when you at Bears Camp next Wednesday and Thursday, I want good videos. No excuses.
I'm getting a new phone too, dude. Top of the line.
Okay. No excuses.
Okay, second from top of the line because I ain't going all the way up.
Like I said, no excuses, bro. I want good videos.
That's why I'm going with Swifty. He can cover my ass when I fuck it all up. But I think he cut me out because when he left, he said, "Hey Dan, I'll see you in Indianapolis," and then he boogied.
See, Swifty even says you're the official cameraman.
Oh crap, dude! Don't do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. So
didn't he just say one of me was enough, and he wants me to be the official cameraman? What are you gonna do, Swifty? Sit there and go, "Hey Foster, further, keep going, keep going." He's going to get me as far away from him as possible.
You're the official cameraman. I'm trying to tell you.
He'll be taking care of stuff, talking to women, doing all this stuff.
Because
unlike all this crap.
You know what? Unlike the Bears camp, you can actually record over there in Indy.
That's
plenty
of
videos come next Thursday, bro.
I actually could have got tickets the last 2 days for here, and I didn't do it.
Really?
Because I'm going to go there and just hang. So when he brought that up, man, I was like, I'm going. I know I can get some footage there. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get some good footage, man. Show us something. Give me some footage of Travis Gibson.
I will do my best to cover everybody I can cover in the 2 days and the time that I have. That's all I can do, man.
Did you guys miss me?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, PJ did. You know me.
I had this picture of these ribs I made. I don't know where they're at.
Mark Kazak is asking, do you have a smartphone, Foster?
That was a dream.
You see, there's a dream.
I got a dumb phone. No,
Foster's got 3 dumb phones.
Yes.
One of them's dumber than the next.
Yes, absolutely.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not.
I guess I'm not just a cameraman. I'm Swifty's slave for a couple days too. It looks like.
When I was hanging out with him, his one phone, he's like, fuck, this internet. It takes like 4 hours for me to get an email on this one. Send it to this one.
I'm getting that. I'm getting that taken care of, man. I got a new phone coming, so I will have that before we go down there.
To answer,
yes, it's a smartphone too.
To answer Leo's question is about, do you like cooking, Foster?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just hate the cleanup, but that's why I went out and bought a dishwasher.
I'm still learning. I'm still in my learning phase, but yeah, I'm trying to cook. Working on it.
It was kind of rough in my younger years, man, and I remember being like 9 or 10. Shut up. This is like 300 years ago.
746.
No, we learned to cook early here, man, in my house. Because if you didn't
You were
cook,
10. It was 746. We
people
agreed
were
you
in and out,
756
man. So
years old.
what?
We agreed that you were 756 years old, so it would be 700.
Now it's like triple of what it was. You guys,
Wait a minute, man.
it
If he was back there with
240,
Moses,
372. Now it's 760. It's really like, I don't know.
you were back there with Moses, right?
So I'll just shut up.
Weren't you on the other side of the Red Sea when Moses parted it?
I was golfing, dude. Remember?
See, I thought you was fishing, but see, you were golfing. My fault.
You guys came up with that one like 4 weeks ago. I don't remember the story. I know just somebody goes, yeah, and when they parted the Red Sea, there was Foster over there trying to take a chip shot.
When they parted the Red Sea, Foster was standing there going, oh, shit. Get through the splits.
Bang. But you know, you aged pretty well, man. You aged pretty well, though.
Not really.
For 756, you look great.
Yeah. Foster is getting a new phone. That BlackBerry is the top of the line in 1998. Fucking retro.
I actually had a BlackBerry, and I thought it was really a nice phone back then, too. Wow.
Retro emailed me and said that he wanted to. He wants to come on the show, and he has like an entire list of burns for everybody.
We'll just do it, man. We'll do a whole show at Retro.
Retro, come on, because we have that remove button just for you, buddy.
Yeah, you can
guarantee you
get it out as we please.
Man, I'm telling
you. Did you guys read this one?
Retro's family learned to cook 5 years before he was invented.
Before fire was invented.
Foster's family learned to cook 5 years.
I would just stand there and go,
hey, God.
Scary.
That's what he said. His email, he said, I won't read you the entire email. I'll just read you what the point I'm trying to make. It was pretty funny. He said, let's see, where is it? Go ahead and talk while I'm looking for this.
When 700 years you reach, you will look like a garbage-filled beach.
Let's see.
I changed whatever Doug said there. Doug Van Dorn said, when 700 years old you reach, so good you will not look.
I had to read you the burn because it was really funny.
Man.
What just popped in?
Hey, man, they may have not had fire, but Walter.
Oh, Walter left for a minute, huh?
Yeah, his sound was out. You got your sound now, Walter?
Nope.
Bogus.
Yeah.
You can hop out and reset everything, Walter, and come back in.
I think
it's not going to affect us. The show's still live. Where the hell did that go? I'm like completely incompetent tonight trying to find shit. I had pictures of ribs I was trying to show you. Couldn't find them.
So back to the food topic. Retro might think it's my favorite topic, but it's not. But yeah, so Korean style barbecue sauce for Leo. What else have the chat been cooking tonight?
I saw something, but I can't find it.
Oh, let me show you what. So I wanted to show you guys this at least. I do have this. Let's see. I got this pellet griller for like $300. It's a pellet grill. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let me show that to you. And I was trying to find the ribs that I had cooked on it because they look absolutely amazing. And I don't know what I just did with that picture. Okay.
Mark Kazak said he had toast and cereal tonight.
Toast and cereal.
That's a heck of a combination. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had that as a
Retro
comment.
had STDs for dinner.
Retro at STDs. So it's like a little portable Traeger pellet grill that you can get for
Okay.
cheap. They're not like $2,000. You can get it for like under, $400 or less, I think. But I cooked some amazing ribs on these. I mean, 6 hours, 8 hours on this thing. Wow. Amazing. So check one of those out. Check out one of the Traeger portable grills. You can find them at Traeger.com. I think I'm getting paid for that.
Take that off of there, man. I want to say this because I didn't get to say some stuff because of my internet issue here. But you guys were talking about college players and stuff. That conversation between Swifty and Glynn, and I was going, I really don't look at any of that till like literally when I do my first mock, which is usually December 26th, and I start looking at that because it changes. The order that these guys you're looking at changes so much for 2.5, 3 months there, And then as far as the offensive line, depth is going to be the issue. Do we have any depth? Because we really don't even know if our first string guys are going to be effective together yet. I wanted to mention this, but I forgot to. Somebody brought it up too, and I'm the same way. Those first 2 games that we play are like the extended preseason because the starters don't get to play hardly at all in the preseason anymore.
Right.
That was always part of the game with having the 4 games. You figured out who was who, and then you put this line together, and you played them for a quarter or so together in the 3rd game usually. Well, you don't have that 4th game to fall back and find out who's who, and your depth wise. So I was going to say, man, talk to me after that Kansas City game, and I'll tell you what the Bears are going to be, because by then everything really should be worked out. As long as those guys stay healthy, those first 3 weeks, then we should have a much better idea of what we're going to be involved with this year. Who's going to be what? Are they going to be a top 10 defense? Or can they score 25 points a game and give up less than that per game on average? Those are the things that they got to get back to.
If you have the Chiefs as a win, look what that does for our record there. That'd be.
Well, I didn't say it was a win,
but I'm saying
just meant after that game, they could be 0-3, man, if things are not meshing right away. Like I said, that's why I'm calling those games preseason, man. The first 2-3 games, this ain't the first 2 at least.
So, but if they do win that Chiefs game, look at that one mean. What does that mean? 8-0?
That means they win the Chiefs game. Because it's the
7-0.
NFL, man, and things stay the same, but not for long. Just like somebody said, man. Who said that? Glanville said that. This is the NFL, not for long. His job, anyways. I don't know. That's just my take on what you guys were talking about at that point, man.
Well, Foster, we appreciate your take on it. We appreciate your input, and thank you so much, sir, for
Thanks for coming, Foster. We appreciate you joining the show.
We really appreciate you there, Foster. Yeah. I mean, without you,
take on that is it's a professional take. It's just what we needed right there.
Oh, it's so insightful there, Foster.
Very insightful.
I mean, I am a much more learned man after hearing you speak.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Foster, and it's been great to see you.
Yeah, man. I mean, have fun with those Green Bay Packers fans.
Get my finger on the button. You just pulled yourself before I could get to you.
I figured you were going to do it.
Preemptively struck me.
I told you, man. I'm a visionary. I can see into the future.
Oh, you're something.
But I got a problem, man, because I'm a peripheral visionary. I see into the future, but off to both sides, so it's real blurry.
I'm just saying, Foster, without you, we couldn't be who we are.
Mm-hmm.
You bring out the best in us, and you bring out the best in Retro, because Retro out on a date with you.
Mm-hmm. Retro is it's really your secret second account, isn't it?
You and Retro are brothers, aren't you? Tell the truth.
They're the same person. Yeah.
You're same person. Brothers.
Yeah. See, look at how does he have exactly what I was thinking, man?
Foster, PJ and Dan are liars. Just watch their eyes. So that's why I hold my head like this. You can't see my eyes.
PJ, what the hell was that? He's winking at everybody.
Now we just need Dan and PJ to say, "I am lying." All right, ready, PJ? We have to say it.
Okay.
I am lying.
I am lying.
There you go.
That's it. I'm done. See you. I'm out.
He pulls himself.
Well,
it was nice,
yet,
Buster.
Better yet, I love you.
Oh shit! I think you are out of here. I guess it's just left with me.
Oh, I'm not staying back there alone with him.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't either. I never knew what he's gonna do. Starts rubbing your leg like, Buster, I love you. Should we bring him back, or was that?
Love him too.
Oh, we love you too, PJ.
Oh, I wasn't talking to y'all.
Oh,
You thought I was talking to y'all? I was talking to Retro.
Oh,
just for that.
Just for that. I thought it wasn't your sex doll that walked in the room. Your sex doll robot. Pulls himself out. Gee, are you okay?
Foster over there choking to death and whatnot, trying to crack joke. Man, golly, Foster, what's going on? And
true Chicago Bears fan right there.
Shorty, I can't tell you my secrets now. I cannot have a private conversation with Shorty no more. He's telling people about my sex dolls that I told him in private.
I didn't know they were robots, though. I just assumed they were.
Can't tell him nothing.
Information how to manufacture one myself. I'm too cheap to buy one.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine what it looked like if he actually made one.
Mark Kazak said, "Shorty."
It'll probably, hey, Pete, it'll probably end up behind the paneling too when I'm done.
Who needs a sex doll when you can buy a fleshlight these days, guys? Walter, pull up the fleshlight advertisement.
I'm driving to Wisconsin, man. Screw this shit.
Wisconsin. I'm going to Wisconsin.
I'm going to Wisconsin.
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 Sin.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Illinois playground, right? That's what they call it. That's what all the Wisconsinites call it.
I just want to know, Foster, do you own a van?
Not anymore.
Thank God.
Oh wait, you know what? I take it back. I do.
They were onto him, PJ.
I do own a van, an old van, man.
Exactly. That's what we're okay. So tell us more.
I haven't driven it though in like 5 years. I got to.
Tell us more.
Parts on it, man.
We're building up a good case against you.
You're incriminating yourself.
Man, I'm gonna end up in jail.
Hey, building up a good case there, buddy.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome.
That was a great show, man.
That was a great show.
It's a good thing I wasn't too involved, or it wouldn't have been.
Hey, before we get off of here, let's see if the chat have any more questions for us, because I know we didn't. We kind of neglected them, so I apologize that we didn't get to a lot of you guys' questions. So my apologies.
I apologize to them in chat as well, because the conversation was just going, way too well.
So my apologies, guys. Sorry.
I wish Walter had sound, his microphone.
No more shake your head or nod your head. No more sound? No? Okay, no more sound. Damn, what the hell? You went to the settings down below, Walter? Checked them out, made sure your audio is all good?
You put us on mute, that's what it was. You put us on mute from the video. That's what it was.
You know, I have to.
I don't know what it is. Can you
See?
hear?
Yeah,
I
you're
can hear
good.
you now. See?
Yeah.
Well, I have my microphone array on my computer, but for some reason my headset one doesn't pick up.
Well, you sound good though. Well, I want to say, dude, let's give everyone in chat. Everyone, give Walter a round of applause for this is his first show producing.
I said it, man. Bang up job, dude.
Thanks.
I mean it.
So humble.
Shorty wasn't fucking
Thanks.
back there fumbling around and shit. Everything went smooth until I opened my mouth. That's great.
No, seriously, well, you did it. You've done a great job from day one of taking on this role. It's amazing. Like,
Time out.
I already downloaded that. We're good. Like,
I'm
damn,
just saying,
really?
hold on. Foster, you said everything went smoothly until you opened your mouth. Is that what you said?
Just, then his teeth got in the way, right? A little less teeth, Foster. A little less teeth.
Huh?
What's up, Jay Grizz?
What? Hey, who was Kenny? Did you see Kenny earlier?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
that was
see-
Kenny.
yeah.
Yeah, that was Kenny.
Is that
Yeah.
the same Kenny that you know or we talked about before?
Kenny. Well, I think Kenny Ray was the guest on BCP before. But if I'm wrong, if you're still here, Kenny, let us know.
It was just Kenny this time, though. Just
Yeah.
Kenny.
What's up, Jay Grizz? Jay
Jay
Grizz.
Grizz,
and
yep,
his-
check out the first half of the show. It's been an epic show. Walt
Right.
is our new producer. He's been producing it. We had Glynn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago on, and Nic Roti from Just Another Year Chicago podcast. Jay, it was awesome. This was a great
Swift
show.
popped in. So yeah,
Swifty was here. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Swifty made. In fact, wasn't that crazy to see? Like Glynn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. Like, can I ask Swifty a question?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
of course you can. Yeah, dude. Please.
Absolutely.
Do. Yeah.
We're all just people, man.
I'll
And
tell
I
you
like,
what.
what I really liked too was he was talking about if you got learning something every day. I'm so
Yeah.
this guy talks some stuff that I'm just so in tune with the stuff that he was talking about. I'm like, man, the only thing when he said he had 4 daughters, I got 2, and I'm going, wow, 4.
Yeah.
Because boys are a little easier to handle, man. Anybody who's got kids, I won't say they're easier to handle, but they're easier to deal with at certain ages. But 4 daughters, man,
What's up,
Yeah.
James Ford?
that's some work.
And he had he's so professional.
Not killing people is what I mean.
What I love about him is he's so professional. So, we all were on our P's and Q's tonight, and then he actually dropped the first F-bomb like in the middle of the show, just without even thinking. So he felt that comfortable with us, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because
Look
I
great,
knew
yeah.
that we could make our guests feel comfortable here, guys. I think that's what we do best, right? So anyone
It's all what you do in the green room there, Shorty.
in the green room, yes.
Yeah. Before the show, you get them ready. Good job.
Lather them up a little bit, yeah.
You get a fluffer.
Yeah, the fluffer. Thank you. I'm the bass player. We decided Walt is the drummer, right? I'm the bass player. You play saxophone, PJ. Foster is the lead guitarist. He's shredding the Telecaster.
Man.
Not even a Stratocaster. You're playing the Telecaster. You got some blues in you there, Foster.
Yeah.
I'm a singer. So,
Oh no, you're not. No, you think you are, but
I picked up a guitar.
no.
Guitar
You're a lead guitarist. You're a lead guitarist. Yeah, get out of here.
No singing.
Thank you, Walt. I hope you did that.
Hey, welcome back there. Welcome back, Foster.
Oh, so what were you saying?
His nose
You're
is kind of
a lead guitarist? Is that what you were saying? Yes, thank you.
yeah.
See, look at
We're an
I
instrumental
got-
band.
I
We're no lead
I
singer.
got a YouTube channel, and this guy's never looked at it. I bet. You ever look at my
Man.
YouTube channel? This
Me,
big
I'm
fan?
subscribed to it. I'm subscribed to it, you fucker.
That doesn't mean you looked at it. That just means you subscribe to it.
Of course
You
I
have a
looked
YouTube
at it.
channel?
I looked at all 3 things on there.
There's 4 now.
Okay, well,
Wait.
I saw all of them. I got the notification for the 4th one.
Man.
I didn't send it yet.
So what's your YouTube channel about there, Foster? I'm just curious now.
What?
What is your YouTube channel
Exactly.
about?
What? Wait,
At
you're
Foster
like the
Coverage?
politician that goes. You're like the politician that needs to buy time to come up with the answer. So he goes, "What? Wait, can you repeat the question?"
Can you, what the question, please?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
can I just say that Mark Kazak tweeted out on Twitter his favorite current Bears content, and we were number 2 on his list among CHGO Sports, Hogan Johns, Braggs in the Stands, Greg Braggs, and so
really
on.
appreciate it. Thank
Mark,
you, Mark.
Seriously. And then we had like a little conversation, and he wishes he could move back to Chicago, get a job there. Like, me too. I could go live there right now, but my wife won't. I try to beg her every day. Can we just go back there? And like, weed is legal, please.
Man.
But no, she won't do it. But
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, man.
appreciate you, Mark.
We got to get Mark on as a guest one of these times. Mark, you got to come on, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to come on. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
I want you to come on the same day that Retro comes on.
Ooh. Don't do that to Mark.
No. Well, we're gonna blast Retro.
Oh no, Retro's gonna come on at a shoot the shit time for like the last hour, like right now. And then we'll just take all of his shit and give it right back to him when nobody's listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, even Mark says this is a great idea, man. I'm telling you, we got to get Mark and Retro on together.
All right.
Well, Mark, if you would like to join the show, please, you know where to get us. BearsCountryPodcast at gmail.com. For anyone that's on audio podcasts and would like to join the show as well, BearsCountryPodcast at gmail.com. Let us know.
And you guys get to actually talk to me.
Yeah. That would be the best day of your life.
You get to hear my questions directed.
Get on that shit.
You sounded like you had to think a little bit there as you were talking, Shorty.
He's out of here. He's out of here.
You just, man, get a chance to actually ask me.
There you go. Thank you. Finally. I have 3 monitors. I couldn't get my damn mouse to the right one. Wait. Let him start talking again and then pull him.
I'm back.
But seriously, no, PJ, great questions tonight.
Oh,
seriously, you are the official question asker of the show. That's your job.
Well, you know, I'm gonna get at a
ways of making people talk.
I didn't. Okay, I did say good job. Okay.
You know,
absolutely, man.
I have great experience in asking questions.
Yes.
Did you still?
It's perfect that it just works out for you, and that you have the perfect position to ask our guests these questions. That look at the look on Glenn's face when you asked him that question. He was like, "That's a great question."
Yeah.
And he went on about it at length, which was awesome to hear about his story about how he, got to that. Yeah. So love it, man. Keep up with the good work with that, PJ.
You're going to see more of that now because people are going to start copying it, PJ. Because it is interesting, man. What I said, I meant these little backstory things on people. I think are part of the greatest, one of the best parts of this show. With these,
we went 40 minutes before we talked Bears with him.
Yep.
Well, I think the key. I'm going to share this with everybody in the chat here. I think when it comes to talking to someone and interviewing them, honestly, get them to relax, and you relax by sharing something about you. Right. So you get them to share something about yourself, open yourself up, lower your barriers a little bit, and then you be able to feel more comfortable in answering questions. Because, like we said, it's all about having a good time. Honestly, we're just here to have a good time, and we don't want anybody feel rigid and feel all uptight. relax, have a good time, man, because we're just here talking football, talking life, because this show has helped so many people with issues they may be going through. I mean, even if they don't want to talk about it, just being able to hang out with some guys and talk just guy stuff. It's cool. I'm not trying to discriminate against no women, don't misunderstand me, but guys being able to hang out and talk football and talk life and make jokes, that's what it's all about for me, man.
Yep.
That's dead on, PJ. It leads me into this too because I keep forgetting to do it, man. If anybody's got a problem with mental illness, alcohol, drug abuse, gambling, sex, whatever addiction, there's help, man, and it works. I want to do this every week, and I forget about it because it's something that's very important, man. This can be a therapy. I mean, I don't know how many of us have talked about this being a therapy. I mean, I remember going through shit a few years back.
Yeah.
And just hanging on to these shows on YouTube during COVID,
Right.
when everything was going to hell, man. I'm sitting here taking care of my dying mom, and I'm sitting up in this room, and I'm just going, wow. Thank God for Dan and Aldo what started it. And then I went to Barfly Tailgate.
Yep.
And then I'm watching everything, though. That turned me on to everything.
Yep.
Right.
Because I had the time and a little bit of sense to know, man, I do not need to be sitting in this room alone with everything that's going on in my life because this
I went through a divorce a woman that I was with for almost 12 years, and she just started cheating on me with a guy at work, and I was in a bad state of mind. So I found a volunteer job at my local radio station, and then just did a 3:00 show on Wednesdays called The Road Show in Round Lake, Illinois, on Round Lake Radio, and it was the most therapeutic, fun time that I've ever had. I made friends. It took away everything. So if any of you, this show is literally, it's we love to talk about the Bears, but we love to talk about life, food, cars, music, whatever. Just having fun, hanging out, like you said, BJ, like the guys, a bunch of friends, hanging out together, and the main topic is Bears.
Yep. Totally agree.
Dude, I've had a terrible 24 hours. I don't even want to tell you guys what's going on. I'm not kidding you, man. I was sitting there earlier going, man, I don't know if I want to do this tonight because just the things that are going on. And I was like, man, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get out of here and everything that's going on around me. And it was the best. It was a great decision to make it, man. And not only that, my brother and my sister Linda, who comes on here, they're like, yeah, just go on and do it, man. You got to do it. You got to do it. You'll be better off. My best friend too. He goes, man, don't bail on it tonight. It's like if I have a problem, that's when I need to go to a meeting more.
Right.
Instead of sitting there by myself going, oh yeah, this blows, that sucks, fuck
Listen,
you.
I've had plenty of moments where I didn't want to do this show. I'm like, I don't have it in me tonight.
But that's only because me and PJ are on it. I'm joking.
No, it's true.
Well, not because of me and PJ.
I think then it comes down to like you guys. And seriously, you guys are what pulls me through to make sure that this happens every week. You guys, seriously. And Walt, now you're part of the crew. Like, you guys are all like what makes this go around. Like, without you guys, it wouldn't happen.
We're just having a love fest right now.
It's okay, Mark. That's part of life, dude. I appreciate it. It's just, man. I hope you're okay.
Yeah. Hope your
that
cough
stuff
is
that
better.
happened a month ago on the 4th when you were in the hospital, man. I just hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
This stuff's gonna all pass, and it's gonna work out the way God intends it to, and there's very, very little I can do about it. But the one thing I can do is be there to I don't know, to listen to these people or whatever I can do. I can be there. Be present in that moment for the people that need it. And that's, like you just said, I'm sorry, Foster. That helps, dude. That helps. Because I know you mean it too. That's the other thing, man. That's the other thing I love about everybody in this chat and everybody on this our little screen here right now. It's there's no bullshit. We know we can mess with each other like we've known each other 50 freaking years. But when it comes down to the real shit in life, I know I could say something and get a kind word or I wish I could help. I don't know what to do. What can I do for you?
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's all people are going to be able to say.
Yeah.
But at least they were there for that moment when you're going through it. So
Yes.
everybody stay safe out there.
And encourage you to
Great
keep
show.
going.
Great show, man. Lifting
Seriously.
my ass up.
When you're going through stuff, the key thing is to keep going. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just don't stop. Don't like Foster say, get stuck in your own mind and overthinking stuff. Really, just keep on going, man. For real.
Ask for help. Talk to somebody about it.
PJ, you want to read Retro's $10 super chat?
Retro Music Network. Literally, my 14-year-old daughter passed out in my lap a few hours ago because her friend may have tried to commit suicide. She was overwhelmed with grief. Luckily, her friend got help. And that's what I'm saying, guys. We don't know what other people are going through in their private lives. We really don't. So getting on here, talking with each other, talking about football, talking about life, food, whatever, just talking with guys and having a place where you can actually let your hair down and don't have to worry about being uptight. Just let yourself, be able to speak your mind. This is where you can do it. And thank you, Retro, for sharing that. I mean, that's tough right there, man. I mean, glad she got help.
They're both okay.
Yeah.
It's just because you've gotten this far, it's not over.
Right.
Getting help is the first step in recovering from anything, man. I'm living proof, dude. I was down a road where I was going to have wet brain and I was just going to be there. It never happened because I seeked out. I sucked that. I got help, man. I got help.
Yeah.
Dude, you're in a great place, Buster.
What?
You're in a great place now.
I am. It's taken like 15 years, dude, but it was well worth all of it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you and I
wouldn't change any of the struggle that I had to go through to be where I am.
You took me to a bar with all your buddies just to drink Sprite. I was impressed. The fact that you can still have that and you can still hang out with your friends in their safe spot and not have to drink is a testament to your excellent your willpower that you have over this. It's amazing.
It's not willpower because I tried willpower for 11 years, dude, and I just kept drinking. There's more to it. It's
a help network,
an inner peace, a higher power that shields me. I've learned. People have taught me. I've spent countless hours talking to people about the problems, and I've learned so much because I paid attention to what they were saying, even when it was boring and I didn't want to listen to it. But this little voice, the good one, said, "Dude, just listen to these people. Take their suggestions. If you do this, it's going to be okay. No matter what happens, it's going to be okay." Because most of the shit is just not that important, man. Most of the shit in life is just not that important.
Walter, I think now's the best time for you to start talking about your heroin addiction.
Yeah, I know, right?
Absolutely, dude. His addiction's just not going so well. He hasn't been doing any.
I know, fixing, but no, really. I mean, to be honest with you, this show really did help me personally too. I'm very quiet. You know that. You all see that. But I mean, even just doing this is a huge step for me. I deal with a lot of anxiety and a lot of shit I haven't unpacked.
Well, we're here for you, man. You're part of the team, man.
Absolutely,
you did a great job tonight, man. Excellent. I mean, very proud of you. From day one of just going over things with you, you've just super impressed the hell out of me. Like, you're on this shit. You got it.
The first time you were on here, I knew you were in, dude. I knew you were one of us. So,
besides my headset microphone not working, it was pretty, good night.
Yeah. There's always going to be, technical difficulties. It's just a matter of figuring them out as they go along, and you'll have it figured out next time.
How many times I wonder how many times during the day with this microphone? I wish this microphone wasn't working because of the shit that comes out of my mouth.
Or the one in your head, like, shut up, Foster.
We can arrange that.
I don't know. Look on Twitter, man. I went off today on Twitter.
We can arrange that, Foster.
I got to tell you, you spell a lot better in chat than you do on Twitter.
Well, you know,
I'm still
especially
trying
if
to
it was
figure.
today, man, because I was just blasting shit today.
I'm still trying to catch a hold of. He makes his L's out of an I, or an I out of an L, or something.
Yeah, is that your sister right here tweets for you?
The I out of an L.
Kidding.
Because it should work if you use a capital I. Whatever, I do one of them backwards.
Yeah, I get you. We get you.
Yeah.
It works. It works on damn messaging. Why the hell won't it work on X or whatever the fuck they're calling it these days?
Well, do you guys want to end this love fest before we start dry humping each other's legs?
I won't be dry humping your
That's
legs.
why we all different cities, bro. Right there. See, that's the reason. Right there. See, people may ask, why do we all, why we are all separated like that? For that reason, right there. No dry humping. None.
As a matter of fact, me, Walt, and PJ make sure we stay away at least 500 miles away from fucking Shorty, dude.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Well, Foster, that's why I had to leave right after Taco Burrito King. I know you tried to take me out to the bar afterwards. I was like, this guy's drinking fucking Sprites. There's something wrong with him. I'm out of here.
You know, I was thinking about something
the Mickey
today,
I
too.
gave you, but you didn't. You gave it to somebody else. Then I had to smack her around. That was bad. It was terrible.
Oh.
Laughter is a great cure, Brian Gilmore. Absolutely.
It is.
Go ahead, Walt. You was going to say
Great
something.
show. Everybody stay safe. God bless everybody in and out of the rooms.
Shut up, Foster. Walt's talking.
Walt was talking.
No, I was just thinking about something today. I was walking down the stairs and I was thinking about the opening of the show. And you ask, Bears Country, or is it? It's right here. It's in every single one of you in the screen and on the chat.
Agreed.
That's the real Bears Country.
Yep.
There you go.
That perfectly said. I like that, man. We have to make that. We have to put that. We have to do something with that one.
Cheers to you.
Well,
cheers to you. That was a perfect way to end the show. I agree. It's Bear. See, a lot of people got misconstrued with the Bears Country part of it. I think you and Foster and PJ both said the same thing to me. Well, I always thought it was like Bears Country. No, man, it's Bears Country. You're in Bears Country. You're in Bears Country. That's what this show is.
I just thought, I'm not watching some fucking hick talk about my Bears. PJ's up there going, I'm telling you.
While I'm taking this.
Wasn't ready for that one.
What?
That's exactly how PJ worded it to me, only much more politely.
Well, you know me, dude.
And that's exactly the same thing I said to my wife. I originally had a banner in the background that said, "You're in Bears Country."
Where is
You're in Bears Country. And so it was in the background and on all the first shows. Go back and look at them. And so my wife said, "Well, why don't you just name it Bear?" Because that's the only banner I had. She's like, "Why don't you just call it Bears Country?"
You need to break that freaking thing back out, dude. I'm serious. I wonder what happened to it.
I have to hang it on the this is just a flag hanging with the light behind it, but I have to hang it on the back wall. You don't even notice it.
Well,
so in fact,
I've seen it in a couple of the shows back in the beginning.
Somebody said on the show, like, "What? I like that background. Where'd you get it?" I'm like, "It's been there the whole time. It's just now I'm in a different location, so it's a little bit closer behind me, so you can see it better." Oh, okay. So it just never worked. That's why BCP works better.
Yeah.
But hey, did you guys quickly before we end the show, how they actually named the?
See, here you go.
Here we go. It's my fault now.
See, you can add stuff, but I do it. Oh, there you go. You're ready to take me off the show. See what I'm saying?
Fucking Mr. Big Shot,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Jackass.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's all right. Okay.
No, I mean that the Bears changed their primary.
Anyway, what I was saying was, see, that's what happens. I'm going to get my chance to say what I got to say.
Go on, Peach. Shut up, Dan.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, PJ.
No, nothing, man. I mean, I was just sitting here quietly.
Are you done? Can I talk?
That should be on loadofcrap.me. What he just said. Nothing. I'm just sitting there quietly. That's a load of crap. But well played, Peach. Well played.
I don't know what you guys talking about. I have no questions to ask.
All right, well, never mind. I'm not going to bring it up again then. Forget about it. You guys can fuck off. You'll never know what I was going to talk about now. Although you might have an idea.
Oh, wow.
But you can think. You just think about it when you're going to bed. $2. Metro's paying us $2 to end the show.
Yeah,
Great show. Thank you. Night.
Wait, that's got to be put somewhere that we actually got paid to end the broadcast. How many other podcasts has that ever happened to? It's got to be a first, man. Another first for BCP. It was a great show, and the guy still wants it over with. We can't even win when we win.
Please end this shit.
But you know what, though? We still got 17 people in the chat. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We want to thank Brian Gilmore, Doug Van Dorn, Mark Kazak, Retro. Who else we got in this chat?
Leo Factor.
Yes. What was his name? Jay Grizz?
Jay Grizz, yeah.
Jay Grizz for joining us tonight. Great seeing Jay Grizz, yes.
Swifty, Kenny.
Swifty hanging out with us. You said Doug Van Dorn, right? Doug Van Dorn, you better shout me in the next chat, damn it.
James Ford,
yes.
James Ford, thank
Cliff
you, James.
Victoria, yes.
Mr. Mayhem 69, good old Cliff.
Mr. Mayhem, yes.
Mr. Mayhem, we love you guys.
And Retro and Mark Kazak.
Swifty, of course, yes.
Leo Factor.
Factor. I think it's as long as I've seen Leo Factor hang out in a while there. He hung out for a pretty good while with us.
Mo Bierman.
Yes, Mo Bierman.
Kenny, thank you, Mo and Kenny.
Now, I want to know who that
STC.
Kenny is. I really want to know who that Kenny is.
Me too.
Because I'm wondering if it's my brother-in-law. Seriously.
I'm wondering if it's Kenny who was on.
Probably not, because he didn't make fun of me. But I'm
gonna tell you who he was. I know who he was.
Do you?
It was Kenny.
Oh, okay.
How about Steve Phillips?
Damn it! They killed Kenny.
You guys, Steve Phillips.
Steve Phillips. Thank you, Steve Phillips, with your $10 super chat.
I got a question too. I'm just going to throw these in because I think sometimes Glynn Morgan, he was in there. Glenn. He answered a bunch of stuff in our chat during the show.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn.
That's true.
Very cool.
I see you now. Okay.
So, remember Bink, the DJ?
Yeah.
Now Bink, the DJ, because I've been going back and looking for people just to see who's
Demand. Sorry, Demand. Thank you, Demand.
Yeah.
Smoker.
Go ahead. But Bink, the DJ, started watching us in March on the bar room. Nobody caught that one. Okay. Demand was in here. I didn't see him.
He was here.
Yep.
Robbie was in here too.
Who was?
Andy G. Andy G's my buddy. He's a Rams fan from Colorado.
Chips Ahoy Boy was here.
Chips Ahoy Boy. Thank you, Chips.
Chipsy.
Vernon Roseman.
Chipsy.
Vernon.
Yes.
Old school.
That's what I meant to. Vernon was on when I got messed up, man. I saw his name and I meant to say it. Nobody said anything. I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Guy named PJ, he was in the chat too.
Nobody cares about PJ.
Huh?
So nobody cares about PJ.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell him.
Shorty and Walter Besky were in there too. A couple of assholes.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, that Walt guy. I don't know
Nice
about
guys, though. They're nice guys.
No, I don't know about that Walt.
Laz, Heart Foundation have not been around for quite some time.
Ravi was in here.
Ravi was in here. I said that like 2 minutes ago, damn it.
Nobody listens to you, Foster.
I know. I was just hoping that would change once in a while.
You were mumbling, Foster.
No, I
Your
said
breath
Robbie
is
was,
awful
Robbie
from here,
was in
Foster.
here.
We always turn our heads.
Did we say STC?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I wanted them to see StreamYard was in here too, dude. See?
Oh, StreamYard, man. Thank you for joining us,
Thank you
StreamYard.
for coming in, StreamYard. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Appreciate you, StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Should we wrap this shit up now? Are we done?
I'm still trying to shout out to the chat, man. You know, I want people.
Walter's
I want,
definitely we got
I want
everybody.
people. I want people to feel welcomed.
We
You
got
know
everybody.
that we actually care about you.
they
We
will
do
until
care
you
about
overwhelm
everyone.
them, and they'll be like,
Love all
"Fucking
you.
PJ, shut the fuck up. You're like Foster right now."
Who said that?
Well, Damon says y'all still up. See, we were just thanking you for joining the show, Damon, because they're trying to end it.
You
But
must
Mamie was
come
here,
on, go right to the
Mamie.
hood.
You didn't. Yeah, see, Mamie was here. See, didn't want to miss her. See,
my mammy,
What?
my
yeah,
mammy,
Mamie.
my
You
mammy.
popped it for a quick
This
second.
Manny.
See? Yeah.
Foster was mumbling it,
That's your-
and he needs his diaper changed. Retro says.
Right.
If we got 15 seconds, we can end this at 3 hours and 45 minutes. Ready?
Good night, everybody. Stay safe and God
We
bless.
love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tell your friends, like and subscribe. Next week,
God
Alan
bless.
Hero. God bless. We'll see you next week. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Bears.